It's right here.
Happy Thanksgiving from all of us at 97.3 ESPN.
With GMF financing to qualify buyers, excludes Traverse and Corvette, excludes prior sales.
Why wait for Black Friday when the biggest Black Friday sale is going on now all month long at Bennett Chevrolet, where you can save up to 20% and more on your new vehicle, because Bennett is selling new vehicles at $1,000 below, yes, $1,000 below the real GM supplier employee price. Plus, you keep all the rebates, saving you up to 20%. But of course, there's more with available 0% financing. Looking for you? Bennett's giving a minimum $10,000, a minimum 10 grand for your trade, no matter its condition, towards any pre-owned in stock. Imagine what you'll get for a good trade if Bennett's paying a minimum 10 grand for total junk. Bennett's deals are unbeatable during our Black Friday sales event, and there's never any hassles or sales pressure, because our non-commissioned sales staff is paid on your satisfaction, not how much you spend. The best Black Friday sales going on now at Bennett Chevy, Egg Harbor Township, and BennettChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
All right, gentlemen, this is Emmett Smith on behalf of Depend, and I've got the perfect play. Run straight to your doctor's office for a life-changing kit, because when prostate cancer is caught early, it's up to 99% treatable, and one blood test might be all it takes. And now through November, Depend is donating to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for select purchases. Talk about a great play.
From September 1st to November 30th, Depend is donating 40 cents to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for Depend Shield Guards, Real Fit products purchased in the U.S. up to a maximum of $300,000 void in Mississippi.
This Thanksgiving at Total Wine and More, find bourbons and Cabernets that you adore.
With curbside pickup available and the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine and More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
For 75 years, Jenkins Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning has been the name you trust, where one call does it all. Jenkins expert technicians have been delivering top-notch service to local homeowners. Renovating your kitchen or bath? Call Jenkins. Need a new heating or air conditioning system, service or maintenance, or even ductless air conditioning? Jenkins has you covered. They also specialize in water heaters, boilers, oil service, plumbing and drain cleaning, water line, and sewer main repairs or replacements. Call 609-641-6262 or visit jenkinsandsons.com today.
Guys, it's finally here. Wendy's new salted caramel frosty. It's cold, salted, yet perfectly sweet, delicious, and it's at the top of Santa's Christmas list. What? Santa has a list too, you know. And he's a huge salted caramel frosty fan. Probably why he's so jolly all the time. The iconic frosty with a salted caramel twist? Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Salted caramel frosty flavored with other natural flavors.
Home of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Thank God I'm a Gill!
Sixers.
Bang! It's good! Ball game!
And Flyers.
Just in front of the net!
97.3 ESPN. WENJ. WENJ HD. Millville, Atlantic City. A Town Square media station serving all of South Jersey.
Isn't it about time for somebody's favorite radio program? Yeah.
97.3 ESPN presents The Sports Bash with Mike Gill.
When I'm driving, I got a guy on the radio who talks to me. I can't see him, but he talks to me.
Now, live from inside the Ocean Casino Resort Studio, here's Mike Gill.
And a good Tuesday, everybody. The Sports Bash live, 97.3 ESPN, the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app, live video streaming on the X platform, YouTube, at Mike Gill Show. We're at Chickies and Pete's in EHT today. A little different than normal here. Pete G is my on-site producer. Josh Henning is back in the Ocean Casino Resort studios. Yeah, we're out and about on a Tuesday at Chickies and Pete's, and, we're having lunch with everybody.
We're doing back-to-back.
Triple. Tomorrow we're on the road tomorrow. But normally we're here on a Thursday. Today we're here on a Tuesday. I'd like to have some of that gentleman's muscles over there.
I see a cheesesteak sandwich over there. Some brewskis.
There's a lot of people having lunch right now.
Check, please.
We'll try to keep it down for them. I don't want to distract anybody during this. She's got a nice rosé over there. And a little wine.
Hey, it is a short week for everyone. So
I know. That's one of the big things.
For you.
A lot to dive into today. Eagles moving on to we watched the Ravens last night. They kind of took care of the Chargers. We'll get our thoughts on what we think of that Ravens and Eagles teams. They probably this will probably be the toughest test to date for the Eagles. Will we all agree on that?
I think for certain the toughest quarterback multi-threat quarterback and running back. I mean, Derrick Henry last night.
Yeah, this
again
is one of
with
those
stiff
games. This is one of those games where you got Barkley against Henry, you got Hurts against Lamar. They're very good against the run. You're a team that likes to run. They run it well. The Eagles are okay against the run. They're good against the run. This will be their biggest challenge.
They haven't faced a running back like Derrick Henry, a guy. It's just a grown man.
There's not a running back like Derrick Henry anywhere else in the league, really. I mean, just a big dude that can run. So this will be an interesting matchup. So we'll dive into the matchup. Colin Thompson will join us in about 25 minutes from now. Sixers, by the way, will look, what more can you say about a team that's 3-13 that had high expectations and has disappointed? They have already announced that Joel Embiid and Paul George will not play tomorrow night. They have already been ruled out for the game. You're playing another game without those two guys that you have basically put the whole season in their lap, and they will not play again tomorrow night. Both of them did not practice today. Also, Kyle Lowry is out. Caleb Martin is also questionable, so another injury potentially that could be derailing this team. I'm going to tell you, we said December 15th as the date that they're going to have to kind of make a decision because that's when you can start trading some guys and maybe shaking some things up. They might be out of it by then. I mean, if they continue, like you're playing without Embiid again tonight, no George again tonight, there are no gimmies with this team. As you watch them play, they don't look like they're close. I know they beat Brooklyn on Friday night, but the whole game plan seems to be hopefully Maxey and McCain shoot the lights out and we just kind of hang around and win a game.
And that's not fair to put on McCain especially.
No way. And think about it. That's their only path to victory right now is hopefully McCain and Maxey just score like 30 points each and they keep you in the game and then, you basically are hanging around because otherwise – there's no continuity. There's nothing that looks like this team's kind of finding their way. There's nothing that says there's a rotation that seems like it makes a lot of sense. He still seems to be just trying to figure out what to do, who to play, and how to kind of move on with this thing. So we were talking about, look, they're going to make the playoffs. This was when Embiid missed the first couple games with the injury. Then he got suspended. And then he was coming back. So it was like, all right, Embiid's coming back. Paul George is back. They'll kind of win a couple games by, just by sheer accident here. That was like 5 or 6 games ago. They've only won one game in that time frame. They haven't won a game with Embiid. So we were saying, like, they're going to make the playoffs because they're getting Embiid back and getting George. We don't know what the heck's going on with Embiid.
That's the problem. To me is when are we going to get a clear assessment of what's going on with this guy? Is it just his knee is sore and he just needs his knee managed, or is there a more specific diagnosis as to
I was going to say the
timeline?
The original reporting was that it was inflammation in his knee, and that while the inflammation is not as bad as Kawhi dealing with his knee, apparently it's bad enough they need to keep managing it like this.
Well, we'll have some audio for you later on tonight with some updates on this whole situation, because some would say, well, why did the Sixers give this guy a extension? What, did they not know that this was going to be a problem? We'll have updates on that tonight later on. Flyers lost last night. Now, game's 3-0. Did you tune in at that point?
I was in and out of that game.
3-0?
I was more focused on Chargers Ravens.
All right, well, you got an hour. Did you give them an hour?
I did.
7 o'clock to 8:20, you go Flyers.
Yeah.
It's 3-0.
But then the first intermission happened, and then I just kind of
right. Well, it all lined up pretty well. It lines up pretty well if you because halftime of the football game is the third period, like the last 3 minutes of the third period. So it's 3-0 Flyers. I flip over to the football game. I then come back, and the score is now 4-2 Flyers. So they had a 3-0 lead.
So you're thinking they're well on to a victory in regulation.
3-0 lead, then a 4-2 lead. I go back to the football game. That game gets to halftime. I go back to the Flyers game, 4-4 with about 3 minutes left in the game. Well, the last 3 minutes, the Flyers are two of the last 3 minutes. The Flyers have a power play, and oh, my Lord, they had 8 shots on the power play. They had 8 shots on the power play last night.
Right, in the third period, because then they got a OT power play.
And they could not get it done. So They end up going to the shootout, and they lose in the shootout, so they do get a point. But that's a good Vegas team. But, man, it's disappointing when you have a 3-0 lead there. So that was the Flyer game last night. And then the Phillies. There's a lot of smoke around the fact that the Phillies are looking to trade Alec Bohm. Okay? And a lot of this is attached to they are interested in both Alec Bregman and Willie Adames from Milwaukee, who was a shortstop, but he said he's willing to go over and play third base. So the domino effect here is the Phillies look like they want to move Alec Bohm. That's the guy they feel like, hey, we need to kind of change something, and Bohm is the guy. So it looks like Bohm is the piece that they're going to move. Now, according to Bob Nightingale over at USA Today, he reported yesterday that the Phillies have been in talks with the White Sox. Garrett Crochet is the guy they want, the pitcher, who they tried to get at the deadline last year. Garrett Crochet for Alec Bohm and Justin Crawford are the names being talked about. Anybody jumping in with 2 feet on that one?
No.
I mean, I would say that starting pitching is not their number one priority. I mean, I would rather them, but I guess it depends on how they replace Bohm. If they flip Bohm to the White Sox and then bring in Bregman, I'd be okay with that.
That's the messaging. They are looking to move Bohm because their targets include Bregman or Adames to play third base. So they're willing to move Bohm out. So you're essentially saying, we'll trade Bohm and Justin Crawford. We'll get Garrett Crochet, and then we'll add Crochet and then one of those third basemen.
And we get to keep Painter and Miller.
Yes.
That's the key to me. If you could keep those two guys out of that package, I think I would be okay
Well,
with
you're okay putting Crawford in. Josh, you like that deal.
Listen, I don't mind the idea of trading Bohm and Crawford. What I don't like is why do I need to get Crochet? How does Crochet fix what happened the last 3 years? He didn't lose the World Series and in the last 2 playoff rounds because of pitching. You lost because your hitters did absolutely nothing.
All right. Well, all right. I'm going to tell you guys why I am starting to think about that deal a little bit more. Okay?
He is cheaper. Yeah, I mean, and if you want to avoid that luxury tax in the payroll for the upcoming season, Crochet fits that bill.
Okay,
I mean, he is cheaper.
That's a little bit of it. Crochet is under team control for, I believe, 3 seasons after this. Josh, maybe you can it's either 2 or 3 seasons after this. Okay? That's number one. Number two, as I thought about this morning, because I wrote this article for 97.3 ESPN.com about this deal and saying, look, the pitching isn't what let you down. It's the offensive inconsistencies. But at some point, Aaron Nola is no longer going to be a guy that you can say, hey, he's the number 2 guy in our rotation. And he's here for like 6 more years with the contract he signed. At some point, Aaron Nola is going to start fading into the number 3, which he was last year, by the way. They pitched Christopher Sanchez in the second game.
By the way, Crochet is under control for 2025, 2026. He's slated a free agent in 27.
So 2 more years of team control, you would have him.
Correct.
So he's a lower-priced, top-of-the-rotation pitcher. At some point, Nola is going to have to be the 3rd or even the 4th guy in the rotation. You don't know if Christopher Sanchez is – this is the big year for Sanchez. He was very good last year. But consistency is king in baseball. Can you pitch very well one year and then come back and pitch very well again the next year? And then the big one that nobody wants to talk about, we all just take for granted, right, that, hey, you got a Cy Young runner-up in Zach Wheeler. Well, Zach Wheeler's 36 years old. At what point does Zach Wheeler say, I'm not the same guy anymore? And if he's not the same guy and Nola's not the same guy, we just keep taking for granted that the pitching hasn't let them down. But for how much longer are those guys? So they're saying we need to go get a young top-of-the-rotation guy in the event that those guys slow down on us and someone else is there to pick up the pieces, and then you pair Crochet and Painter together, and they become your top-of-the-rotation guys, much like the Dodgers. Look at the Dodgers. Clayton Kershaw was the man until all of a sudden he wasn't. And they had to try to find quickly guys to replace those guys. The Phillies have not had the injury issues with Nola and Wheeler. But I think the Phillies are getting out ahead of this and saying, we don't want to see it happen, and we also don't want to spend top-of-the-rotation money on a pitcher right now if we don't have to. Now, the whole thing with Crochet has been, correct me if I'm wrong here, he wants a new contract, and he's been kind of iffy on pitching without the contract.
That is correct. The whole point of him last trade deadline was he would only go accept a trade and report to a team if he was guaranteed a contract extension, and he threatened to sit out.
Yeah, so that's part of the problem here. So I do see the reason why the Phillies would be interested in trading for a pitcher, because I think, as you know, last year we're looking at the deadline. Why are you trying to do this at the deadline? And the whole point is they're not really looking at the deadline in terms of the way we're looking at the deadline. They were looking at it as, let's get a younger top-of-the-rotation arm in here and try to get out ahead of us getting old, because we just think of them being old in the lineup, right? We think of them having guys in their 30s in the lineup, but you also have to keep in mind they have guys in their 30s in the pitching rotation, the top two guys, Nola and Wheeler, and at what point do those guys take a dip from the guys that they are right now?
By the way, I was going to say really quick, Wheeler is under contract for the next 3 years. Nola is under contract for the next 6 years.
Yeah, Nola is a 6-year guy, and he's going to be here. What? Nola's like 31?
32.
All right, so
Wheeler's 34. So
Wheeler's 35.
He'll be 36 when the season starts, right?
Right in front of me says 35. Let me pull up his actual birthday.
35. So
yeah.
I mean, 3 years from now, he's 38. So this is his last contract, I would imagine. So the Phillies, like you said, they could be looking at Garrett Crochet for right now and 3 years down the line.
Well, I think it's both. I think it's, hey, Wheeler right now, he'll enter the season as our ace.
Right.
But if for some reason he is not the Wheeler that you just got this past year where he was the runner-up in the Cy Young, and even if he is, what about next year? What about the year after that? We can't keep counting on him to be the guy, and we don't want to get caught, with the pants around the ankles there, waiting and say, well, we never thought about getting another pitcher. Now, you have Painter and you have Sanchez, and they did give Sanchez a contract, I think, right?
And you have Suarez.
Yes.
Well, and it also, you just set up my next point there, PG. I think it sets up a possibility to use Suarez as someone to trade and
for a bat.
That's where I think you say, look, we've got Suarez. He's a good pitcher, not expensive, and you've got this guy. Let's just make a deal here.
Because you can't do Wheeler, Nola, Crochet, Suarez, and Sanchez as your five. That would be too much.
Say again?
As your five-man rotation, Wheeler, Nola, Crochet, Sanchez, and Suarez, one of those guys would have to be moved.
Well, you also
Suarez.
have Painter in the mix, too.
Right. He would be on an innings limit, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think Painter this year probably doesn't start with the big league team, and then you'll see him probably sometime around I could be wrong about that.
Really?
But keep in mind, in the playoffs, you're only using 4 guys. So the 5th guy is kind of out of the mix.
Mike, I wanted to ask you because Suarez is in the final year of team control next year. You mentioned with Painter being on an innings limit, is it possible they start the year with Suarez in the rotation and then use him as a trade piece at the deadline to get Painter up in the rotation?
Yep, I think that's a strong possibility, is that you move your rotation to start the year. Let's say this trade would happen, Garrett Crochet. And I don't have any reason to think that that's some made-up thing. The Phillies had interest in Crochet at the deadline.
Correct.
And now they're back interested in him again. According to reports, there were 5 teams that made an offer to Soto, and the Phillies were not one of them. So all this smoke around Soto, nothing has happened there. Crochet, it doesn't seem like it makes sense unless you kind of jump outside the box and say, well, wait a minute. Their pitching is a little older at the top of the rotation. They don't want to get caught, not paying attention, and they want to get a top-of-the-rotation guy. There's one that's available. Let's do it now. And listen, the year that they won 111 games was the year that they had Halladay, Lee, Hamels, and Oswalt. That team there was the best team that they ever had. Now, they didn't win a World Series, but it was certainly the best team that they ever had. So they look at it and say, look, our rotation going into a playoff series is you're going to have to beat Wheeler, you're going to have to beat Nola, you're going to have to beat Crochet, and you're going to have to beat either Painter or Sanchez.
But then the other side of it is if you do add, for example, an Alec Bregman, you're also aging your lineup even more.
You are, and that's the other side of it is, okay, we'll trade Bohm. We're willing to trade Bohm to try to get something. And I know a lot of people would say, well, what are you moving Bohm for? He's your RBI leader. He's one of your most consistent bats. But I think the Phillies are saying, look, we've got to do something to the lineup. And he's a guy that is young, he's under control, that other teams are interested in. Now, there have been some reports that they are listening on, or they would listen on Castellanos. I don't know that anybody's calling them about Castellanos, but that's another possibility. But the big name is Justin Crawford. And as we all know, these are prospects. We don't know what they're going to be, but he is an outfield prospect. He is the second offensive prospect in their system behind Aiden Miller, but he plays the outfield. I mean, there's a possibility, and I said this before, if this kid is the best option you have, you've got to really consider him to play center field this year. And I know that sounds like crazy, but look, there's players all over baseball that are 20, 21 years old that are playing at the majors and helping teams win right now. And what's to say that he is not better and ready right now ahead of Johan Rojas?
Yeah, I think Crawford, Miller, and Painter, you would like to hold on to two of those three guys, right? Or at least not all three of them, because I know you're probably going to have to part with one of them to make one of these moves that you're talking about. So those out of those three, Crawford's probably the one to go.
Well, it's an interesting one because Crawford plays the outfield, which is where you're the lightest. You're going to need an outfielder sooner than you're going to need an infielder.
Right.
Because Aiden Miller really, he's a shortstop. You already have a shortstop.
Well, what if you move that current shortstop to elsewhere?
That's a possibility.
Either on the team, in the outfield, or out the door.
Does Trey Turner have a no-trade clause? I think he does.
I'll pull it up.
609-403-0973.
Because it would be nice if your shortstop could turn a double play.
He has not been great defensively. Guys, giving up Bowman Crawford for Crochet seems like an overpay. I think bringing in Bregman is canceling Bohm out. Bregman declining the past 4 years. Yeah, I talked about that before. Bregman, to me, gives you more power than Bohm does. But I don't know that it's a total upgrade other than you're saying this guy's won World Series. The problem I have with him is you're adding another older, declining player to the lineup.
By the way, Turner does have a full no-trade clause.
Thought so. So you're not trading him there, PJ. I mean, unless he doesn't like it here. Now, did you watch the Turner thing on Netflix?
I did not, no.
It's like a 25-minute thing on the whole standing ovation.
Yeah. No, I didn't see that.
It was all right.
Is it it's just a story of...
Well, it's a story of the guy. His name is the Philly captain. Are you familiar with this guy?
Yeah, I've seen his work.
So this guy, he's the Philly captain is his name in terms of like his social media moniker. And, he gives his story of how he's like, rough and he's like, that he's always tough on the players and the teams. And that's just the way they are. And that's the way he's grown up. And it's kind of a story more of mental health. Like he was talking about how he had some mental health problems and to help kind of get him through the mental. So it's more of a story about his mental health than it is
about Trey Turner being a horrible player and then gets a standing ovation.
Yeah, that's the backdrop of here's this guy with mental health, had some mental health struggling issues. And that he, I don't want to go really, really deep into this, but he had basically said he was going to kill himself, and because he was supposed to have a doctor's appointment, and the doctor, I guess, canceled on him, and one of his recourses was that he said he was going to drive his car into the doctor's office and basically kill himself, and I guess he didn't end up doing that, and one of the things that he did was make this video that said, hey, everybody, instead of booing Trey Turner, let's cheer for this guy. Now, I know other people have taken some credit for this idea, and this guy, for whatever reason, is the man who's been picked to represent the idea. So he makes the video, and he says, hey, everybody, let's cheer for Trey Turner. Let's not boo him. And I guess it caught, around, and they ended up cheering for Trey Turner. And the rest is kind of history for Trey Turner. He ended up hitting 16 home runs after that. I mean, so it's like a 25-minute Netflix thing. So it's not like taking a lot of your time. what's it called? I think it's called
The turnaround.
The Turnaround.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's on Netflix if you want to check it out. 25 minutes. And, the Phillies called him, amongst others, by the way. It wasn't like him specifically by himself, but they had him on the field for opening day, and he got to be in the line when they come out from center field and, stuff like that. But there's a moment in the show where Turner hits a game-winning home run, and everybody in his section, they turn around. They're like, "You fixed him! You fixed him!" It's a fun little show. It's probably worth 25 minutes. I wouldn't say that it was great, but, the Trey Turner thing is kind of documented in there. That being said, Trey Turner has a no-trade clause, and I don't envision him being waiving that or being traded at this point. I don't think there's any reason to kind of think that would happen. But that's what we heard yesterday. Bob Nightingale from USA Today, Garrett Crochet, and Alec Bohm and Justin Crawford. I, for one, am not big on keeping prospects. They generally have not worked out for the Phillies. Every prospect they've traded away, I don't think any of them has come back to burn them. Give me a prospect that the Phillies have traded away that you're like, oh, my gosh, that guy.
I mean, the one guy that I always see is J.P. Crawford with the Mariners.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he hasn't been that great.
He hasn't been that. No,
he was the number one prospect in baseball, if you remember that. And he's been good, but not great. Dom Brown was the number one prospect in baseball. He did not turn out. The Phillies have traded away. I mean, they had guys that, remember, for years we were talking about, Lou Marson and Jason Donald and Carlos Carrasco.
Kyle Drabek.
Drabek ended up getting hurt, so I hate to say that he didn't make it, but he got hurt. But he was one of the names. So the Phillies have had a good run of trading the prospects away and them not coming back to burn them. So is Justin Crawford the next in the line of guys who just don't make it, or is he the one that they trade away and it comes back to bite them?
I would say Aiden Miller is the guy you probably want to keep.
Aiden Miller, you're holding on to. Justin Crawford, you're trading.
Yeah, I'm trading Justin Crawford. Aiden Miller, future shortstop or infielder.
609-403-0973. What do you guys think the Phillies, should they try to trade for another pitcher like Garrett Crochet? What are you saying? Can't trade Justin Turner, can't trade Aiden Miller. I don't think Andrew Painter is available. I don't think they would trade him. 609-403-0973. 609-403-0973. All right, we're just getting started today. When we come back, how do you stop Derrick Henry? We'll ask Colin Thompson from the Colin Thompson Show how he thinks the Eagles defense matches up with the Baltimore offense. They will face off this Sunday on 97.3 ESPN. You can hear that game live at 4:25. The pregame coverage starts at 3. We're live at Chickies and Pete's in Egg Harbor Township. Of course, it's a Tuesday, but it's the holiday weekend. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there. This hour of the show is brought to you by Autumn Lake Healthcare Centers, skilled nursing rehabilitation with elite-level care in a warm and vibrant atmosphere. Visit autumnlakehealthcare.com to find a location near you. By the way, PG and Josh, Autumn Lake Healthcare has added a prize for tomorrow's 99 Growlers. And that prize is a autographed Brandon Graham football with a letter of authenticity.
I mean, how timely is that?
That somebody will win tomorrow during 99 Growlers.
Wow.
Thanks to
that
our
might
friends
be more valuable than the tickets themselves.
Would you rather the tickets to the Eagles-Steelers game, club box seats,
that's good,
or
too.
the BG football?
I mean, BG's been on my mind all week long, so probably BG.
All right. Well, we're going to talk more about BG, some possible replacements, and that is all coming up on the Sports Bash live on 97.3 ESPN.
You're listening to the Sports Bash with Mike Gill
And if you're not down with that, we got 2 words for you.
on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets. and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in New Jersey. Terms and conditions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? So you've got an oil change coming up. You can go farther and save on full synthetic with our oil change special. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Valvoline Advanced Full Synthetic with an STP Extended Life oil filter for just $33.99. Get the parts you need when you need them at AutoZone or AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Shop Dell Technologies Black Friday event for their lowest prices of the year. The future is on sale today with limited time deals on select PCs like the XPS 16 that accelerate AI with Intel Core Ultra processors. Black Friday is their biggest sale of the year and the best time to upgrade, but it's only here for a limited time. Shop now at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
Something is happening here. Off the New Jersey coast, a new offshore wind project is generating nearly $2 billion in economic benefits for the state. We're generating thousands of local jobs, but the most important thing we're generating is trust. Look closer at Atlantic Shore's offshore wind, and you'll see that we're generating a clean energy future with a team that values safety, the environment, science, and a commitment to being a good neighbor. Learn more at AtlanticShoresWind.com.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Let's face it, winter can be a hard season. It's cold pretty much all the time. Blizzard. You have to shovel. Another blizzard. You slip on ice. But you know what makes winter suck a little less? Getting a free phone. Join Cricket Nation and get a free Samsung Galaxy A15 5G. Ooh, ouch. Welcome to enjoying more. Welcome to Cricket Nation. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Cricket 5G is not available everywhere. Must open a new line on the $60 unlimited plan. First month service charge and tax due at sale. Fees, terms, and other restrictions apply. See cricketwireless.com for details.
Tired of hearing no? Everywhere you go, we turn no into go during Black Nissan's November sales event. Say no to high-priced new cars. Brand new Matte Black Nissan Sentra S, just $19,999. Say no to low trade offers. AJ the Trade Man wants your trade, no matter the make, miles, or condition. Say no to down payments. Say no to payments for 90 days. And say no to high interest rates. 60 months, 0% financing on every clearly marked new Nissan. Backed by Matt Black's 4-day love it or leave it return policy. Tired of hearing no to a discount on a new ride? A new 25 Sentra S, under 20 grand.
Oh yeah, it's on at Matt Black Nissan.
Approved Tier 1 credit for Matt. Negative equity refinance. Number SY231649. MSRP 22730 plus tax tag at 689.8. Offers can't be combined. 0% for 60 months. Call 877-289-6670 or go to MattBlackNissan.com for complete details. Offer ends 12/5/24. It's on at Matt Black Nissan. The Black Horse Pike. Egg Harbor Township.
The 90s called. They said the Gordita Supreme is so back in the new $7 Lux Cravings box from Taco Bell. It's all looking fresh to death with the pillowy 90s Gordita Supreme alongside the beefy 5-layer burrito, double stacked taco, chips with nacho cheese sauce, and medium drink. All for just $7. It's your wallet's favorite cheesy crunchy combo here for a limited time. Grab yours and relive the decades, only at Taco Bell. At participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only, while supplies last. Contact store for pricing participation, which varies. Drinks and speed freezes, tax extra.
The holidays are here at the Home Depot. If you're working on getting ready for company,
A lot of company.
make sure you're ready with Black Friday savings. Get up to 40% off select appliances, plus up to an extra $1,000 off select kitchen appliances. Upgrade your kitchen with top brands like GE Profile and get sleek cutting-edge appliances to make sure you
Got hosting handled.
Yeah, you do. Get Black Friday savings now with free delivery and financing on select appliances this holiday at the Home Depot. Offer valid November 6th through December 4th. U.S. only. See store online for details.
Cooper's our new neighbor down the shore.
Introducing Cooper University Hospital, Cape Regional.
Healthcare is going to improve in Cape May County.
We're excited to bring our award-winning care to our new neighbors in Cape May and Atlantic counties. You'll have greater access to top specialists, advanced technology, innovative treatments, and outstanding cancer care at MD Anderson Cancer Center at Cooper. Cooper University Healthcare.
Extraordinary happens here.
It's the Sports Bash with Mike Gill
The voice of the voiceless.
on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app.
2:32 Sports Bash Live at Chickies and Pete's, Egg Harbor Township. You know, they got a great beer selection here. Outstanding. Very good.
They have Cane Head High here. I'm a big fan of that.
Wow.
That's my choice.
They used to have, what's it called? The Other Half. They have stuff from Other Half.
Oh,
here.
that's a good spot.
Very good. So stop out. They got the A.J. Brown wings here as well. The Sweet Heat. There's a man that knows food, drinks, and football.
Hey.
It's Colin Thompson from the Colin Thompson Show, former Carolina Panther, and he's here on the Sports Bash Live on 97.3 ESPN. What's up, dude?
What's up, Mike? I love the Chickies down there. You can't beat Chickies and Pete's, the crab fries, the food, lobster cheesesteak, veteran move. Take the lobster cheesesteak, order the peel and eat shrimp in the Old Bay, whatever. Dip the lobster cheesesteak in that sauce. But, you know, again, that's someone who spent many, many nights and days at Chickies and Pete's. Great to see you, buddy.
We're in the EHT one today, which is a little bit more like the ones in the Philly. Normally we're in Atlantic City. I was actually in AC on Saturday night. I stopped in there, watched a little Notre Dame Army Saturday night. Got a little, not good. Not good for the cadets. But, hey, we got football, big game on Sunday, and I want to start right there, man. First off, let's get takeaways from you on the Eagles' win over the Rams. What stood out about why that win was so impressive as they continue to kind of build forward to gain people's trust back?
Yeah, right. It's a great point, the trust situation, because there's a huge question mark primarily around a head coach, right, that people are frustrated with because of not going with it on field goals and what's his role on the team. And he's not calling the plays, he's not calling the defense. What's he doing? Does he get in the way of this talented roster? But Mike, I mean, wins are wins and wins. And it's not just the way they're kind of winning where it was like sloppy in the past. And I've been really pounding the table. Like, what do you want your identity to be? And I think the takeaway, Mike, is we know the identity. We understand it. And the identity is going to be, we're going to run the football, play great defense, and then feature our great receivers in the pass game. I think it's helped Jalen Hurts get more comfortable. And I think it's helped truly that team kind of fall into shape. Because again, if you're a team without an identity, every week you're running new plays. Every week you're trying something different. You know, one week it's all A.J. Brown. Next week it's, you know, Dallas Goedert. Next week it needs to be the Saquon show and the Gainwell show. And then everything else would come off of it. And I think, to me, Mike, that's been the resounding feel from me talking to my friends is they have an identity now, and that's scary. It makes them scary.
Well, they run the ball 39 times a game when they win, and a lot of time that's predicated. So is that predicated in your mind that they have leads and they're running the ball because they have a lead? Or no, that's who they want to be. They want to run the ball 30, 35, 40 times because that's who they are and they want to be, as opposed to, they're running because they have the lead and they're just kind of running the clock.
No, it's because of who they want to be. And that's why when I come on this show, Mike, and I try to toe the line of being somewhat politically correct, because I want to get into this league as a player or coach at some point. So it's hard for me to get on here and give sometimes my eyeball opinion, but I gave it pretty frankly. I said, the team has no identity. This was about, 6-7 weeks ago. Like, what's the identity? Like, when you face Baltimore, you know what it is. You know their strengths and weaknesses. We're about to talk about Baltimore. It's like, okay, they're going to run the ball really well. Lamar Jackson's been having an incredible season. And defensively, they're porous at times, if not a lot of the season. So, Mike, I think it's the identity of the team. We're going to run the football. We're not going to apologize to it. And why would you? You have the high-priced offensive line, and I'd run right behind them all the time.
Let's take a look at, by the way, Barkley, obviously historic type of game, offensive line, the role that they have there. But you mentioned it too. In the past game, they only throw the ball 22 times. But because they run it so much and so well, teams have to kind of creep. And then that's when they get the matchups they want. You have to hit when those matchups come up, but they're hitting those big plays.
Jalen's not that type of quarterback. right? Like he's not. He's a great NFL quarterback, but there's only 5, 6 guys on the planet. I think Herbert's playing his way into that. We're seeing how good he is. Everybody kind of forgot about him being hurt, being out on the West Coast. There's only a couple guys on the planet that can just sit back there. Burrow's one of them. Josh Allen's one of them. Lamar's one, and then just rip these, no matter what coverage, no matter what we're going to do, whatever I want. Jalen needs to play in the offense where he's not the star, and he will end up becoming a star. There's a lot of great players. Youth sports that you've played where your role player, right, ends up being the best player on your team and most relied upon, right? That's what Jalen Hurts is. He's just a highly paid quarterback, so everybody thinks he has to be this guy. At the end of the day, Jalen's at his best when everyone else is better around him, and you're seeing it. And I think that's why, again, identity. They finally have one, and they don't apologize for it anymore, and they just do it. That's why I said Saquon Barkley would be the MVP before the season. People look at me like I got 4 heads, injuries. What? The guy's a monster, and you're seeing it with that roster.
So give us a little insight to the locker room. Sunday night, Barkley goes for 255.
Mm-hmm.
What's the conversation in a random Carolina locker room after watching that happen?
It's about time they give him the ball every play. That's what I would be saying. Like, why aren't they giving the ball all the time? Like, there's only so many players in this league that are different. There's a lot of really great players, played with a lot of them, that are just 90 overall type Madden guys. You're just like, damn, that guy's a baller. He was a baller in college, a baller in pros. Then there's the guys that are the 97, 98, 99-year-old, overall Madden club, just speaking in layman terms, where you're like, holy cow, Christian McCaffrey's ridiculous. Holy cow, Justin Jefferson's ridiculous. Some of these offensive linemen and defensive linemen are ridiculous. Well, Saquon Barkley's ridiculous. Mailata, ridiculous. Lane Johnson, ridiculous. A.J. Brown, he's on another planet. They have guys on their team that are other planet players. They have Pro Bowlers, then they have an upper echelon. And Jalen Hurts is a Pro Bowler. Zach Bond will be a Pro Bowler. Cam Jurgens probably be a Pro Bowler, right? They have good players. Devonta Smith, Pro Bowler. But like all pro, they have like 4 of them. And the Ravens, who we're going to get into, they have 4 of them. The Lions, they have 4 of them. Not just Pro Bowlers, all pros. And that would be my locker room conversation is I would be feeding this guy the ball as much as possible because he's absolutely different in a league full of freaks.
All right, I want to get your take now as a guy who played offense, and you're getting ready for the Eagles' defense, but it doesn't have Brandon Graham anymore. How much of a problem is that for them because of what he was giving them and what they have to replace him?
Yeah, I think depth is always a problem with the defensive line, right? The more depth you have, the better, right? Simple as that. That's probably the only position you can kind of roll guys through consistency. Maybe a little bit at corner, maybe a little bit at linebacker, but those guys play a lot of reps. Defensive line, Brandon Graham goes in on a drive. He may take 50% of the reps on that drive. That's really good and helps your players, step up. So you're always looking for edge rushers, defensive linemen. Huff's been banged up, hasn't played as well as he'd like to. What's his role going to be? He's going to have to step up to the plate. Tough though, Mike. That's a leader. That's a guy who's doing it. It's his last year to see a guy go
Huff's
down.
Hurt. By the way, Huff's hurt too right now.
Yeah, I know he's dinged up. Yeah, so
surgery. He's out for a couple of weeks. Yeah, he got surgery last week. It was kind of under the rug, but yeah, he got surgery on that wrist, and he's out now 6 to 8 weeks. They're hoping he's back by the end of the year.
I thought it was a 2 to 4. Okay. So, yeah, they're thin, Mike. They're thin. Here's the problem. Here's what's going to happen. Ravens are going to have success running the football. It's going to happen, right? It's just how much you're going to limit it, and then what are you going to do to match up with it? What's Vic Fangio going to do to take the pressure off some of that thinner defensive line, right? Is he bringing a lot of pressure? Is he going to come with a little bit bigger front, bigger boys? How they're going to match up with Ricard and Andrews and Likely and Kohler and the offensive line that's massive. The Ravens in the AFC North, NFC East fans may not know this, but they are the biggest teams in the NFL. There's teams that you face every week, and of course, there's big players. But when you play Pittsburgh and Baltimore and Cleveland, they're just different. Cincinnati, they're just big. And that's how they draft with the Ravens. So you see it. They have a fullback who's 320 pounds, and he's huge. I played against him. He's absolutely massive. And then Lamar, I mean, Lamar Jackson this year, Mike, he's thrown 3 interceptions. I watched this on NFL Network today. When I don't listen to your show 24/7, 365, I'll pop on NFL Network and watch that.
Dang it.
And they showed Kyle Brandt showed his.
No, I was going to say, the one thing is you're talking about Derrick Henry and what he does. I'm looking at some of the odds right now. We had some up on the screen for people watching video. But will Barkley and Henry rush for 2,000 yards plus 1,200? Yes. No, minus 5,000. But Barkley is right on pace. Henry's right off the pace. So the number is over under 1995 for Barkley, over under 1845 for Henry. That's how good of a season these two guys are on right now, as you're talking about the way that Baltimore likes to run the ball.
Yeah, and I didn't even bring him up. I'm talking about everybody else. Even Hill, their backup running back, he scores at a high rate, catching the ball out of the backfield. He's a perfect 1-2 punch. Mike, they're for real. Baltimore. Now, defensively, what they're going to be, Eagles are a better, more well-rounded team. Wow, the Eagles are probably last year, Baltimore, they were more well-rounded. Eagles last year was not, right? A lot of defensive troubles. This year, they're a pretty well-rounded football team. You could argue other than Detroit, handful of others. Kansas City, they're struggling. So it's pretty funny, man. What the Eagles have been doing kind of quietly in the background when it comes to the landscape of the NFL. They've had a nice job. Lamar, to finish what I was saying on Lamar, Mike, Kyle Brandt, they showed us 3 interceptions this year. One was an out route. Stick route, guy dropped it, interception. Next one, stick route the other way, ball got tipped, guy dropped it, interception. The other time, Hill caught it, his own player caught it, and it got ripped out of his hands. So he hasn't even thrown a pick this year. So you're facing the best player in the NFL. He should be MVP 1, and then Saquon should be MVP 2.
All right. Let me get your thoughts quickly on Kansas City, 10-1. Almost lose to your former team, the Carolina Panthers.
You look good.
Do the Kansas City Chiefs give you Eagles vibes of last year?
Well, I think their roster's not what it used to be. I think when people look at it year to year, almost like a college team, you're like, that's Alabama. They're going to be great. Well, what you don't realize is you can't just recruit 5 stars every year. There's a salary cap. So when your 2 tackles walk out the door, they have some carryover, but their 3 offensive linemen interiorly are highly paid. Their 2 tackles are not. That affects the pocket, right? That affects not the depth of it, but the width of it. Your interior offensive line are responsible for the depth, right? Trying to hold the line, stay firm so it doesn't get piled back in your quarterback's feet, right? So they're not the same as they were, but, I mean, you can never bet against them because it's just like even those Jordan Bulls teams that weren't as good, right, or the LeBron teams that weren't as good. He found a way to pull them through. So at the end of the day, not the same, Mike, but when it comes to coordinators, Dave Tobe, special teams, you saw the impact he's had this year. Blocked that kick to stay undefeated against Denver. Denver's a better team than people think. Matt Nagy, former head coach, he's your OC, former Eagle. And then you have Andy Reid and Steve Spagnuolo, who are the most respected in their, positions in the league. So when it comes to just well-roundedness, and their front office is great. So they'll be fine, but they're not like Detroit, though. Detroit is on another planet. They're on another planet.
How close are Philly? Is Philly closer to Detroit or closer to Team 3 in the NFC?
That's a great question, Mike.
I'm filled with great questions today there.
I think the Tier 2 pool, I think Philly's gotten a lot closer to Detroit than they were a couple weeks ago. Yeah, Mike, I'll say they're closer to number 1. I will.
So they're closer to Detroit than they are, say, Minnesota or Green Bay, or I don't even know who else would be in there. Is San Francisco done?
I don't think you ever can bet against them either. If they can get in the playoff, I mean, here's the thing. You know this, how hot you get in December. Like, I think Miami's going to make the playoffs. I said this on your show a couple of weeks ago, and you're like, well, the math, and the math may not be for them, but they're going to.
No, I agree with you. Yeah. I think Miami, with Tua, they're a Super Bowl completely different team. Yeah.
They're a playoff AFC championship aspiration. Pittsburgh, I mean, good on them. Now, they dropped one against Cleveland in the snow, but But at the end of the day, Mike, to your point, it's hard for me because I'm still nervous about the Eagles and the identity. I hope they continue to do it. And I think now than ever, they're never going to. It's going to hand the ball to Saquon Barkley, give it to Gainwell, get the tight ends involved.
Yeah.
you don't have any weakness on offense. So it's not one position that's weak, especially with the quarterback. People will say is not as good as he used to be, whatever. But when he's got great players around him and they're featuring those great players, man, he plays at a level to rise the boats, and that's what you want from your quarterback.
All right, good football conversation. Sports Bash Live, Colin Thompson, former Carolina Panther, and, of course, the Colin Thompson Show tomorrow, by the way. We're going to be in Wildwood at Mud Hen Brewing Company for this year's 99 Growlers party. So we will have a huge crowd down there tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Happy Thanksgiving to you and the whole family, man. Hope to catch up with you sometime soon, bud.
You're the best, Mike. Thanks for having me, man. Enjoy Turkey Day.
All right. Colin Thompson, everybody, and you can check him out on Sirius XM NFL Radio and on the Colin Thompson Show on Not For Long on the YouTube channel, and the podcast is more. We got so much more to do, including we're going to get into One Thought every game with Casey Joyner. That's coming up tonight. Sports Bash this hour is brought to you by Autumn Lake Healthcare Center's skilled nursing rehabilitation with elite-level care in a warm and vibrant atmosphere. Visit autumnlakehealthcare.com to find a location near you. Well, 3 o'clock, we've got Johnny Mack with all the latest on the Eagles as they get ready for the Baltimore Ravens. We'll look more closely at that matchup on a short week for us here on the Sports Bash Live from Chickies and Pete's, the official sports bar of the Philadelphia Eagles on 97.3 ESPN.
It's Sixers basketball tomorrow night on 97.3 ESPN with the voice of the Sixers, Tom McGinnis, calling all the exciting play-by-play action.
Three ball got Jared McCain injecting life back into the Sixers with a main three.
It's Sixers Rocket tomorrow night. Coverage begins at 8 p.m. It's Sixers basketball all season long on South Jersey's radio home for Philadelphia 76ers basketball. 97.3 ESPN.
Go to get your game on at the Gallery Bar Book and Games at Ocean Casino Resort. Cheers your favorite drinks while cheering on your favorite team. Get in on the parlay while in the middle of a party. Go for the sports scene and go for the endless screams. Go to the Gallery. Go to the Fanatic Sportsbook. Go for the win at Ocean Casino Resort. For more information, visit theoceanac.com. Must be 21 or older to wager or consume alcohol. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The official Eras Tour book coming to Target on November 29th, featuring over 500 photographs from the tour, including never-before-seen performance and behind-the-scenes images. And for the first time, the Tortured Poets Department, The Anthology, with 35 tracks on CD and vinyl.
Only at Target.
With GMF financing to qualify buyers excludes Traverse and Corvette excludes prior sales.
Why wait for Black Friday when the biggest Black Friday sale is going on now all month long at Bennett Chevrolet, where you can save up to 20% and more on your new vehicle because Bennett is selling new vehicles at $1,000 below, yes, $1,000 below the real GM supplier employee price. Plus, you keep all the rebates, saving you up to 20%. But of course, there's more with available 0% financing. Looking for used? Bennett's giving a minimum $10,000, a minimum 10 grand for your trade, no matter its condition, towards any pre-owned in stock. Imagine what you'll get for a good trade if Bennett's paying a minimum 10 grand for total junk. Bennett's deals are unbeatable during our Black Friday sales event, and there's never any hassles or sales pressure because our non-commissioned sales staff is paid on your satisfaction, not how much you spend. The best Black Friday sales going on now at Bennett Chevy, Egg Harbor Township, and BennettChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, you know to check that your seats aren't in the visitor section first, before buying tickets.
I'm so excited for this game. I can't believe you got us tickets.
Me too. Wait, are we on the wrong side?
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds.
This is going to be a long game.
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Time to work on your gift list with Black Friday deals at the Home Depot. Right now, get a select tool from top brands like Ryobi and Milwaukee for free when you buy a select battery kit. Choose from reciprocating saws, multi-tools, sanders, and more. Whether you're stocking up on power for your personal workshop or grabbing the perfect gift for someone else's. Get Black Friday tool deals delivered from the Home Depot. Limit 1 per transaction. Exclusions apply. Full eligible tool list in-store and online.
Tired of hearing no? Everywhere you go, we turn no into go during Black Nissan's November sales event. Say no to high-priced new cars. Brand new Matte Black Nissan Sentra S, just $19,999. Say no to low trade offers. AJ the Trade Man wants your trade, no matter the make, miles, or condition. Say no to down payments. Say no to payments for 90 days. And say no to high interest rates. 60 months, 0% financing on every clearly marked new Nissan. Backed by Matt Black's 4-day love it or leave it return policy. Tired of hearing no to a discount on a new ride? New 25 Sentra S, under 20 grand.
Oh yeah, it's on at Matt Black Nissan.
Approved Tier 1 credit for Matt. Negative equity finance. VIN number SY231649. MSRP 22,730 plus tax tag at $689.98. Offers can't be combined. 0% for 60 months. Call 877-289-6667 or go to mattblacknissan.com for complete details. Offer ends 12/5/24. It's on at Matt Black Nissan on the Black Horse Pike. Egg Harbor Township.
You're listening to The Sports Bash with Mike Gill on 97.3 ESPN and the free mobile app.
All right, Sports Bash Live, 97.3 ESPN. Flyers lose last night in overtime, in the shootout, 5-4. The Flyers 3 stars of the game, brought to you by Kindle Auto Plaza, Stone Harbor Boulevard in Cape May Courthouse. Kindle is the family dealership that you can trust for your next Ford, Dodge, Chrysler, and Ram. Sports Bash Live at Chickies and Pete's in Egg Harbor Township. Let's give you the 3 stars. Kevin Durso's 3 stars of the game, presented by KindleAutoPlaza.com. Star number 3, Matvei Michkov with a goal. He was a +2, 4 shots on goal. By the way, that shootout, he missed, but holy mackerel, did he rip that thing off the post last night. Emil Andre with his first NHL goal. He was a +3 with 2 shots. And Morgan Frost played a really good two-way game last night with a goal, an assist, +2, 3 shots, a block shot as well. And that is Kevin Durso's 3 stars of the game. It's brought to you by Kindle Auto Plaza, Stone Harbor Boulevard in Cape May Courthouse. The family dealership you can trust for your next Ford, Dodge, Chrysler, or Ram. Flyers to tomorrow night. They are 8 o'clock game in Nashville. You can listen to that game on our sister station, Rock 104.1. And they're back on Friday right here on 97.3 ESPN with a Black Friday game, and that is against the Rangers. Their annual Black Friday game against the Rangers. You can hear that game on 97.3 ESPN. We'll also have the Black Friday football game for you. We'll join that game in progress after Flyers-Rangers, so we'll pick that game up right around the start of the second quarter of the football game. So get us locked in. Thanksgiving Day, we have a triple header. All 3 NFL games are on 97.3 ESPN, followed by Friday's Black Friday game with the Flyers at 1, the Black Friday football game right after that, and we'll have the Georgia Tech-Georgia game Friday night on 97.3.
This is South Jersey's official home for Philadelphia Eagles football. The Eagles continue the 2024 season this Sunday in Baltimore against the Ravens.
Here comes the rush. They've got him again!
Yeah, this offensive line cannot block the Eagles.
Pre-game coverage starts at 3 p.m. with Merrill Reese and Mike Quick calling all the action starting at 4:25. This is the play-by-play home of the Philadelphia Eagles. 97.3 ESPN, South Jersey's Eagles station.
Score a touchdown when you bank with Jersey Shore Federal Credit Union. Catch lower rates on loans and higher rates on savings. You'll cheer when you don't have to pay a penny to get your own money, since they offer 85,000 surcharge-free ATMs. Get the details or open an account online with just a $25 minimum deposit at JerseyShoreFCU.org. Or swing to a branch in Northfield, Galloway, Hemington, or Rio Grande. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Lowe's knows that to win the job, pros need the best prices. That's why only at Lowe's, MVP's Pro Rewards members can get a volume discount on eligible orders as low as $1,500 at the Pro Desk. That means you get the prices you need to start any job, small or large. Because Lowe's knows pros. Valid in-store only. More terms and restrictions apply. Visit Lowe's.com/terms or Pro Desk for details.
Ooh, we got a question. Brian W. asks, it's the holiday season and I'm looking for deals. Is Xfinity having a Black Friday sale?
Well, Brian, our best deals of the year are here. Get iPhone 16 Pro on us. Just ask us how. Plus, you can also get fast, reliable Xfinity internet with a line of Xfinity Mobile Unlimited for a great low price.
So don't wait. Bring home a new iPhone 16 Pro built for Apple Intelligence.
And connect to reliable 5G and Wi-Fi speeds up to a gig on Xfinity Mobile.
That's a big deal.
More like a gig deal.
Now through December 3rd, ask how to get the new iPhone 16 Pro on us with an unlimited Plus line. Plus, get 300 megabit Xfinity internet and an unlimited mobile line together for only $35 a month for 12 months with no annual contract. Go to Xfinity.com/Black Friday sale to learn more. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto-pay with stored bank account. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply. Xfinity Mobile requires Xfinity internet. Gig speeds available via hotspots to Xfinity Mobile customers only. Reduced speeds after use of monthly data included with your data option. Actual internet speeds and data thresholds may vary.
Looking for the perfect RV to hit the open road this fall? Look no further than Hitch RV, your premier RV dealer. They're offering unbeatable pricing during their fall reduction sale on a wide range of RVs, from cozy travel trailers to luxurious motorhomes. Hitch RV is dedicated to providing exceptional customer service and quality RVs. Visit them today at hitchrv.com/Berlin or call 856-629-7400. Hitch RV, your adventure awaits.
The holidays are picking up at the Home Depot, and so are the savings. Don't miss store-wide doorbuster deals starting Friday at 6 a.m. in-store only. Get top-of-your-list quality gifts at our lowest prices of the year, like a Ryobi 1+2 toolkit, only $79.88. Or go all out with festive decor, like the 2.5-foot LED elf Minion Stewart, a team player in any holiday display, for only $39.98. Don't miss doorbuster deals coming soon to the Home Depot. Starts November 29th, while supplies last.
I need a new car. Under 20 grand? Okay, well, what's my trade worth? You know what? I'm going to Matt Blatt Kia, where I can get some straight talk.
Brand new Matt Blatt Kia Forte LXS, under 20 grand. That's right, a brand new Kia, just $19,999. With any trades, that's less than most used vehicles. Currently buried in a loan or lease, Matt Blatt Kia wants to get you released and into your new Kia with zero down, zero payments until February, even 0% for 72 months on every clearly marked new Matt Blatt Kia in stock. So bring any trade, because if you have a job clearing $450 per week, we want to get you approved today.
It's gotta be a Matt Blatt Kia.
With approved credit, 24 ED9, $13.89 per thousand finance. Not all will qualify. Credit may affect down payment. Offers can't be combined. Go to mattblackkiafj.com for complete details, or 888-505-6670. Price includes no cost to be paid by consumer, except for licensing, registration, and taxes. Repaying and rebates and incentives to dealer. Expires 12/4/24. Matt Blatt Kia, 6211 Black Horse Pike, Egg Harbor Township, and on Route 37 in Toms River.
South Jersey's official play-by-play home of the Eagles, Sixers, and Flyers.
At 0 point would I ever consider not being a fan of the team.
97.3 ESPN, WENJ, WENJ HD, Millville, Atlantic City. A Town Square media station serving all of South Jersey. This is the Sports Bash with Mike Gill on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app. Now live from inside the Ocean Casino Resort studio, here's Mike Gill.
All right, 3 o'clock, Sports Bash Live, 97.3 ESPN, the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app, live video on the X platform and YouTube at Mike Gill Show. John McMullen is host of Birds 365. He's brought to you by Boardwalk Honda. Shop their lineup of new pre-owned and certified pre-owned Hondas online at boardwalkhonda.com. We're live at Chickies and Pete's in Egg Harbor Township. Eagles and the Ravens getting ready for Sunday. We're kind of looking all the way ahead there because we have a short week, so we'll focus a little bit more on that game and all the news around it. John, we saw the Ravens last night. We saw them lose the week before. We saw them last night. When you look at this Ravens team, let's start with them real quick. Is this the biggest challenge that Philadelphia will have on their schedule? Now, obviously, the Brandon Graham news, he did confirm, so did Nick Sirianni, that he is done for the season. We talked a little bit yesterday about some options and what can they do. But how will them not having a player like Graham affect them against a team like Baltimore? I was going to say, are those calls even available? I mean, I guess there's a couple guys who, when I looked at the edge rushers, these guys are in their late 30s, some of these guys. Well, we have been seeing, John, like basketball, these veterans that get released from the teams that aren't making the play. We have seen more of that in recent years, haven't we, though, where teams are like, you know what, we'll let you go. We'll cut you free. And then the bad teams don't want to sign them because they don't want to pay them. Yeah, no doubt. No, no, no. Well, oddly enough, as you mentioned, right, they just lost Hutchinson a couple of weeks ago, and now they're people were saying they have to try to get somebody. John McMullen, Birds 365 here on the Sports Bash. Brandon Graham done for the year. In what world, by the way, did you think we'd be living in where we'd be talking about Brandon Graham, the highest graded Eagle in Week 12, now hurt, and they're basically, I mean, if we were having this conversation last year, Graham was good. I wouldn't say he was great. I wouldn't say it was a huge, would be like, oh, my God, they lost Brandon Graham. I mean, can you believe, though, that he's probably been, and has he been, the best member of that, edge group? Well, they don't. I don't know. Do you have a guy on this roster that you are interested to see more of? Mm-hmm. Yeah, no doubt. The names, yeah, you're giving us are not getting me or anybody all that excited. Yeah, you mentioned KJ Henry. He's going to get signed to the practice squad. He's a fifth-round pick of the Commanders last year. He was in Dallas. Dallas isn't very, when you're getting released by Dallas on defense at that position, that doesn't give you a lot of confidence either. So, right, there are not a lot of great options. And this is different, John, from, I've had a lot of people texting in like, hey, is there a Sue or is there a Linval Joseph? That's a different position. You don't need the speed and explosion as much at that position. You just need to be able to kind of have your strength and be old man strength and not get moved off the ball as much. The Graham thing where you're hurt is you need a guy that still has some explosion and speed that can chase down a quarterback. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, you can't. You can't pull a rabbit out of your hat with that one there. But that would be an interesting addition for Philly. So that's what you're up against. There's not a lot out there that's on the street that's just waiting, for the right situation. You can't make a trade, so you're kind of tied to what you got here. And we'll see what they end up doing because you're going up against a Baltimore team that is similar. Like they have a running back that is big, powerful, fast, and strong. They've got a quarterback that obviously can run and he can throw and he can do a lot of things. You talk about the diversity in their offense, but if they're going to run the ball at Philly, is that an area where Philly is equipped to stop them? Well, and it's like a game of keep away here because they don't stop the run all that much. So this might be a game where Philly, you're getting a lot of the MVP buzz for Saquon Barkley. You're in a 425 CBS game. It's probably going to be the most watched game of the weekend. It's a pretty good opportunity for you to further Saquon Barkley's candidacy. See what by the way, so yesterday you and I had a conversation. At that moment, it was plus 600. The Eagle fans, you know them, they are jumping on this thing, and it is pushed to 475 now. So it has dropped even more. He is actually ahead of Jared Goff. It's Allen plus 150, Jackson plus 250, and from yesterday to today, Barkley is now at plus 475 and Goff is plus 700. So he's gaining because I think so many Eagles fans are so excited and put money on him. It was by the way, John, it was plus 6,000 on Friday. 255. Well, here's another conversation that we got into a little bit yesterday, John, is late in the year you play the Giants and you play the Cowboys, but do you need those games? Now that Washington's 2.5, are you going to play all 17 weeks? And I guess one of the questions would be, how important is the number one seed? Would they play guys in week 18 if number one seed was still in play? There's going to be a lot of variables here. So if they're in play week 18, Detroit's got 3 losses and Philly has 4. Does Philly play against the Giants and try to catch them? Mm-hmm. Well, it's either Minnesota, Detroit, it's either Minnesota, Chicago, or it's not going to be Green Bay. They play Minnesota, by the way. Yeah. All right, man. I'm looking forward to this game. This one's fun. For the last couple of weeks, I can't find out anything. The team's not there. All right, you don't think Pittsburgh? If Pittsburgh's still winning, if Pittsburgh hasn't lost by the time they get into Philly, they'll have, 2-3 losses? Well, so you like Baltimore, even though Baltimore lost to Pittsburgh, you like Baltimore better than you like Pittsburgh. Yeah. That's like what Schrager said on NFL Network the other day. He's like, they're off the bus scary. When they walk off the bus and you're like, they got that guy, they got that guy. Oh, my God, they got that guy too. And that's the thing about Philly. All right, we're going to get into that matchup more tomorrow. John McMullen, Birds 365. I'll be on tomorrow at 8:20 in the morning if you want to check me out over there. And, of course, here we got more on the Birds and the Ravens. Biggest game of the year, says John. I concur, by the way. I agree with you. This Ravens team, scary good. Right. Best matchup. Best team they're going to face. Yes. All right, we'll have plenty more on this game, and you can listen to it right here on 97.3 ESPN. All right, bud, we'll talk to you tomorrow. McMullen's brought to you by Boardwalk Honda. Shop their lineup of new pre-owned and certified pre-owned Hondas online, boardwalkhonda.com. I want to say thanks to our friends at Broadleaf's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning. They bring you the 3 o'clock hour of the show. If it wasn't for them, it'd just be mute silence. Wouldn't have any audio at all. But thanks to Broadleaf's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, you can call them at 609-390-3907, online, broadleafs.net. All right, coming up, it is who's hot, who's cold. They are my 14 playoff teams on the way. Plus, I got a conundrum. Should they switch? I'm going to ask you, Peachy. You're a father.
I am a father.
So you're going to be in the hot seat for this one.
I like that.
That's coming up in about 15 minutes from now. Sports Bash Live, 97.3 ESPN, the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app, live video streaming on the X platform, YouTube, at Mike Gill Show. Use the hashtag SBLive. And we got football at 4. Andrew DeCecco was in L.A. with the Eagles. We'll get his take on what he saw and what he thinks about who might be the right guy to replace Brandon Graham. That's all coming up on the Sports Bash on 97.3 ESPN.
Wake up weekday mornings from 6 to 10 a.m. with Unsportsmanlike on 97.3 ESPN with Evan Cohen, Super Bowl champion Chris Canty, and Michelle Small. Can't wake up without it. Brought to you by the Gallery Bar Book and Games at Ocean Casino Resort in Atlantic City.
Jersey Cow, a great place for the family to hang out and eat ice cream. At Jersey Cow, everything is homemade, small batch, right here in South Jersey with only the best ingredients. Enjoy Jersey Cow in Northfield and Brigantine with all the fall flavors, bringing back popular classics while introducing some future favorites as well. For the best ice cream with constantly rotating flavors, come taste the best homemade delicious ice cream made right at Jersey Cow. Visit every day from noon till 10 at both Northfield and Brigantine locations. Ice cream, a year-round thing at Jersey Cow.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, you know to check that your seats aren't in the visitor section first, before buying tickets.
I'm so excited for this game. I can't believe you got us tickets.
Me too. Wait, are we on the wrong side?
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds.
This is going to be a long game.
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Ooh, we got a question. Brian W. asks, it's the holiday season and I'm looking for deals. Is Xfinity having a Black Friday sale?
Well, Brian, our best deals of the year are here. Get iPhone 16 Pro on us. Just ask us how. Plus, you can also get fast, reliable Xfinity internet with a line of Xfinity Mobile Unlimited for a great low price.
So don't wait. Bring home a new iPhone 16 Pro built for Apple Intelligence.
And connect to reliable 5G and Wi-Fi speeds up to a gig on Xfinity Mobile.
That's a big deal.
More like a gig deal.
Now through December 3rd, ask how to get the new iPhone 16 Pro on us with an unlimited plus line. Plus, get 300 megabit Xfinity internet and an unlimited mobile line together for only $35 a month for 12 months with no annual contract. Go to Xfinity.com/Black Friday sale to learn more. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account, equipment, taxes, and fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply. Xfinity Mobile requires Xfinity internet. Gig speeds available via hotspots to Xfinity Mobile customers only. Reduced speeds after use of monthly data included with your data option. Actual internet speeds and data thresholds may vary.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay. Things people love.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets. And see why. It's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in New Jersey. Terms and conditions apply.
Find what you love, love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low, it just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
With curbside pickup available, you'll always find what you love only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
With GMF financing, qualified buyers excludes Traverse and Corvette excludes prior sales.
Why wait for Black Friday when the biggest Black Friday sale is going on now all month long at Bennett Chevrolet, where you can save up to 20% and more on your new vehicle? Because Bennett is selling new vehicles at $1,000 below, yes, $1,000 below the real GM supplier employee price. Plus, you keep all the rebates, saving you up to 20%. But of course, there's more with available 0% financing. Looking for used? Bennett's giving a minimum $10,000, a minimum 10 grand for your trade, no matter its condition, towards any pre-owned in stock. Imagine what you'll get for a good trade if Bennett's paying a minimum 10 grand for total junk. Bennett's deals are unbeatable during our Black Friday sales event, and there's never any hassles or sales pressure because our non-commissioned sales staff is paid on your satisfaction, not how much you spend. The best Black Friday sales going on now at Bennett Chevy, Egg Harbor Township, and BennettChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
At the Home Depot, the holidays have arrived.
And so is all my family, so I'm working on keeping up with the laundry.
The Home Depot is here to help with Black Friday savings up to 40% off select appliances. Spend less time doing laundry with smart, efficient appliances from Samsung, ranked #1 in customer satisfaction.
Perfect. Less laundry time means more family time.
Get Black Friday savings now with free delivery and financing on select appliances at the Home Depot. Visit jdpower.com/awards for more details. Offer valid November 6th through December 4th. U.S. only. See store or online for details.
I'm Mike Mackler. At Goldenberg Mackler, we represent you, not the insurance companies. When seriously injured in any type of accident, call us. We'll speak with you for free and fight to get you the money you deserve. When injured, make the right call to Goldenberg Mackler.
For the best lawyer, call Goldenberg Mackler with 4 convenient locations to better serve you. Atlantic City, Northfield, Rio Grande, and Vineland. Call us at 609-344-7131.
It's the Sports Bash with Mike Gill.
Keeping the fans entertained and happy.
On 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app.
I still think Detroit's playing the best, but I have them as going to the Super Bowl. I picked them, and I'm staying with them. I think they're continuing to get better. I mean, I think Detroit is playing. They're as hot as you can be. They're playing so well. I don't know if that's going to be sustainable, though. It's hard to sustain when everybody's going to start giving you their best shot because you are, quote, the best team in the league.
Are they peaking too early? The Lions, can they keep playing this well? I said yesterday, I don't know that they've played a bad game all year. I think they played one bad game this year, and they found a way to win that game. They did lose a game.
They had a bad game against the Bucs earlier in the year. They lost that game.
That's the game they lost, right?
Correct.
But I'm talking about in their wins. They've only had one game that they didn't play well, and they won that game.
That was the Minnesota game at Minnesota.
I think so.
31-29.
Yeah, they came back to win that game, and they didn't play their best, and they still found a way to win that game. Let's take a look at the 14 NFL playoff teams. Who do we like this year? Who's hot and who's cold here on the Sports Bash? It is brought to you by Ace Hardware, Home Service, Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. The helpful team is now making house calls in South Jersey. Visit acehardwarehomeservices.com to book today. All right, here we go. Who's hot? Who's cold? AFC East, Buffalo. They're in.
Easy.
Cold up there. North, this is a tough one. You just heard McMullen. I agree with him. I think Baltimore's better than Pittsburgh, but I don't think Pittsburgh's just going to fall and fade. And they beat Baltimore head-to-head. They have a half a game lead on them right now. I'm going to go Pittsburgh here in the North. I think Pittsburgh can keep winning games and hold off Baltimore just enough.
I'm starting to wonder if Baltimore finds a way to win that division, Mike, because of the fact that the one thing the Steelers have had problem with the last few weeks is their offense has stalled a bit.
They got a really good defense as we start now. I don't know when it's going to get cold. I mean, we always say, when it's cold out, it's never cold.
Well, this weekend in Baltimore, I think we'll be in the 30s.
It snowed last week on Thursday Night Football.
Cleveland's cold. Those places are still cold. Where we are, not so much. Never gets cold anymore. Give me a good cold day. Do you have any of those in the horizon?
It's coming.
Pittsburgh plays Cleveland, Philly. Cincy, Cleveland, Philly, Baltimore, Kansas City, Cincinnati.
They got 3 tough games, man. At Philly, at Baltimore, and then home against KC. That's a tough 3-game stretch.
Baltimore,
man,
their schedule, the rest of the way, they'll play Philly, the Giants, Pittsburgh, Houston, and Cleveland. They got 3 tough games. Philly, Pittsburgh, Houston.
Yep.
Games at Houston. So both teams play 3, and they play each other.
that's the game right there. I guess that would be week 16. That's the game.
All right. Let's go to the South. This is another tough one. I don't like Houston. I don't trust Houston. I don't like Indianapolis. I don't like either one of those 2 teams. Houston has a 2-game lead. I got to go with them, but it's hard for me to believe in a team that just lost to Tennessee.
I agree with you.
I mean, Will Levis beat you. That's a bad sign.
It's a bad sign. The game was
have,
at Tennessee.
Their stretch is home against Miami, at KC, and home against Baltimore.
They play Jacksonville this week.
They play the Jags this week, but after that, it's 3 tough games again.
And they play the Titans on the road. They lost at home this week to the Tennessee Titans. Yeah. Give me Indy's schedule. So Houston plays at Jacksonville, the Dolphins at Kansas City, the Ravens at Tennessee.
Indy is at New England this weekend.
Okay.
At Denver. After that, home against Tennessee, at the Giants, home against the Jags.
I see them can win. I think Indianapolis can win 4 more games.
You're putting a lot of faith in Richardson there.
Just the teams they're playing. I think Richardson is, he's getting a little better. I got to give him a little credit. I've been really tough on that kid. But, hey, guess what? You sit and watch a little bit, you get better. That's how it works. You don't get handed jobs when you don't deserve them.
I mean, they're 5-7, Houston 7-5. So that's a 2-game. They got to make up 2 games down the stretch.
What's the head-to-head?
And they don't play each other.
Houston and the Colts, Houston beat them both times.
Right.
I got to go with Houston in that situation. I think they both finished with 9 wins.
Yeah, I don't see Indy making up 2 or 3 games.
No, me neither.
Indy's also 1-3 in the division. Keep that in mind.
Houston's in the South. Kansas City wins the West, but that one's getting interesting out there, I guess. Not interesting, but I think Kansas City feels more Philly to me than's being discussed.
You mean 2023 Philly?
Yeah, like last year's Philly.
I mean, they will get Pacheco back at some point. Maybe that stabilizes them a little bit.
A little bit. All right, and the wild cards. Man, the wild cards on this side are tough.
I mean, I think 2 are obvious, right?
Well, it's Pittsburgh or Baltimore.
Right.
I'm going to go with Pittsburgh to hold on there. Baltimore is the wild card, right?
Right, and then the other one is the Broncos, right?
The other one I would think is...
That one's up in the air with Miami coming on.
I would think the other one's the Chargers. The Chargers right now...
You like the Chargers more?
I mean, they're 7-4. Denver's 7-5. So I like both of those teams, but I think the Dolphins are a problem. I think the Dolphins are going to. So let's take a look at those there. Chargers, Broncos, Dolphins.
That's 3 teams for 1 spot.
So here's
I think Baltimore or Pittsburgh, the loser of that division, I think is going to get in.
The Dolphins' final schedule. You ready, Mike?
Uh-huh.
So you obviously got the Dolphins versus Packers Thursday Night Football. That's in Green Bay, by the way.
Yeah, I like Green Bay there.
Jets and Dolphins in Miami.
I like Miami.
Dolphins at Texans.
I'll take Miami there.
49ers at Dolphins.
I like Miami.
Dolphins at Cleveland on the 29th.
I don't
December.
love Miami in that spot, I got to be honest. I just don't like them on the road where it's cold.
And final game of the year, Dolphins at the New York Jets.
So I like them to win, 4 games? So that gets them to 9.
So that means you...
9's not going to be enough, I don't think.
Yeah, you would need the Chargers or the Broncos to not get 9 as well, basically.
That means those two have to win 2. You got Chargers or Denver?
Chargers' schedule is Chargers at the Falcons this coming Sunday.
Okay.
Chargers then at Kansas City.
All right.
Chargers return home and play the Bucks.
Ooh. All right.
Then they're still at home against the Broncos.
Big game.
Then they travel to New England.
They've got a difficult row. I mean, it's not like world beaters, but they're all coin flip type of games for them. So they can win. Like, I could see them only getting 2 wins out of that group there.
Their final game, by the way, is against the Raiders.
And they should win that game.
I got Denver's schedule here.
All right, lay it on me.
Monday Night Football. Remember, they moved that game. That's
Yep.
at home against Cleveland, followed by at home against Indy, followed by at the Chargers. That's another primetime game. I believe that would be Monday night as well. And then at Cincinnati, and then home against KC.
I mean, I think their schedule's challenging as well. Again, not like a world beaters, but a lot of coin flips in there. So they could only win 2 more games. So Miami's kind of in the mix. I'm going to go with the Chargers, Broncos, and Baltimore right now.
That's a Thursday night game, by the way, the Chargers, Broncos. That's going to be a good game.
Yeah, I'm going to go Miami dug itself a little bit too much of a hole, and they fall just short.
Sounds good to me.
Which is fair. I mean, Tua was out. They had that whole thing, so, yeah.
All right, Philly wins the East.
Definitely.
Detroit wins the North.
Yep.
I don't know who wins the South. I'm going to go with Atlanta, but I mean, I'm going to go with Atlanta mainly because I took Atlanta at the beginning of the year. I liked Atlanta in the offseason when you didn't like Atlanta. We battled about them.
Yep.
So I'm going to stick with Atlanta. But I'm telling you, man, that Tampa team, if they start to get healthy again, I think they got to get back. They might be back in the mix.
Atlanta is minus 30-point differential. The Bucks are plus 36-point differential, Mike.
I think the Bucks, if they are healthy, they probably would be ahead there.
The only advantage Atlanta has right now is their division record is 4-1. And Tampa's 1-2. So Tampa hasn't played as many teams as Atlanta has in that.
I have no idea who wins the West. Right now, it's Seattle at 6-5. Arizona is 6-5. The Rams are 5-6, and San Francisco is 5-6. Are we ready to give up on San Francisco? They got a very challenging schedule coming up.
I'm out on San Fran.
All right, you don't like San Fran. I think I'm about done on San Fran. Their schedule's just really tough. But I don't like any of the other teams. I mean, do we really think Seattle is going to win that division? Arizona? The Rams?
Well, the Cardinals and Seahawks both play the Rams the final 2 weeks of the year. So, realistically, this entire division will be settled in the final 2 weeks.
They're going to beat up on each other, you're saying?
Yep.
Maybe? Yeah.
Right now, I'm going to go with Seattle just because they have a bunch of pieces who, they made the playoffs. They've had a bunch of guys that have kind of been together here. So I'm going to go. Now, they do have a new head coach out there.
That Mike McDonald's got a lot of fist pumping going on that last game.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of Arizona. They're feisty. And
They're
I like
feisty,
that
but they
Rams
did not look
offense,
good.
though. I like the Rams offense.
See, I would go with the Rams win the division because the Rams play the Cardinals and Seahawks the final 2 weeks at home.
Playing at L.A. is no home advantage, though.
Yeah, we saw that Sunday night.
But
Eagle fans are much more powerful than Cardinal fans.
True. That's a definite. All right, wild cards. I like Minnesota. I like Green Bay. And now you got one spot. Do we like Washington, or are they faded?
I think the Cowboys loss is a bad look.
I agree. I think Tampa might sneak in there. I wouldn't be surprised if Tampa snuck in. I had the Rams at the start of the year. The Rams were in my original who's hot, who's cold.
Go ahead, Pete.
I think Washington can still right the ship. I know they've lost 3 in a row, and they lost one of them to Dallas, but I still like Daniels and what he's been doing this year.
So I like the Rams to win the division and the Seahawks right now to win the wild card because, as you said, Mike, they have a lot of guys there who have done it before.
Yeah, I'm kind of faded on the Commanders. That's a rough loss. But I like Tampa.
That Baker Mayfield winning you over, Mike?
He's played great this year, and when they're healthy, when they have Evans should be back, right?
He was back this
He
past
was
week.
back on Sunday, yeah.
I should know he's back in my fantasy lineup.
Godwin's out for the year, though.
He's out for the year, yeah. But guess what? They won without Evans having a major impact on the game. That shows you the evolution of the team.
I was going to say, I don't remember him having a big impact. Well, they're playing the Giants.
Bucky Irving game.
Giants are so bad. I watched that clip again today of Mara.
Did you?
Yeah, I mean,
you know what? You should watch it every day.
It's the gift that keeps on giving
Yeah.
the whole year, Clark.
Why don't you just go out there, test your market, maybe circle back with us.
You could call us back, right?
No, it wasn't even that clip. It's the one where he says, just got a text message, Philly's out. Chicago's driving up the price. And Maris says, I don't think I could sleep at night if he signs with Philadelphia. I mean,
and Chicago winds up with DeAndre Swift.
My favorite
Philly's out. Chicago's driving up the price. I mean, you couldn't look like more of a dude.
I mean, who fed that misinformation?
Mike Mularkey, probably.
I was going
See
to
that
say
Mularkey story?
Yeah.
Oh, that's poor by Malarkey.
I mean,
you can't do that.
He's had
Using
some issues in the
Ian
past.
Rappaport as a pawn, huh? They're all pawns in the game.
I mean, for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, Mike Mularkey was the coach of the Titans.
Titans, yeah.
He was getting fired, and he knew it. So to basically, well, he wanted to see the look on the faces of the owner and the GM when they called him in to fire him. So he called Ian Rappaport and said, hey, I'm getting a contract extension. I just wanted to give you the information first. So Rappaport goes and, puts out the information that Mike Mularkey will be getting a contract extension. Well, he ends up getting fired.
The next day.
The next day. Well, Mularkey knew he was getting fired, so he wanted to see the look on the owner and GM's face when he walked in there with the news that he was getting a contract extension. Now, they made the playoffs that year.
It's just such a hilarious story.
Well, it's a bad job by everybody. Rappaport's got to get a second source.
That's true.
You can't just go with one source there. And number two, Mularkey, I mean, that's sophomoric.
You believe that's pretty immature of a professional football coach?
Yes. I mean, that guy could have had his entire career smeared because of that. Now, luckily, he's moved on, and but still.
Do you even know what team he's on at this point?
Mularkey?
Yeah.
I don't even know he's in the league still. I'm imagining he's with Jacksonville only because it was a Jacksonville podcast that this happened on.
I think he's out of the league.
I was going to say, I thought he was out of the league. But if he was in the league, I'm thinking Jacksonville only because it was a Jacksonville podcast that he told his story on.
He is retired officially.
Yeah. Retired or unwanted.
Yeah. Unwanted.
All right, that's Who's Hot, Who's Cold, and it's always brought to you by Ace Hardware Home Services, Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. The helpful team is now making house calls in South Jersey. Visit acehardwarehomeservices.com to book the game. This is where it gets really, really difficult. As we get down the stretch, we're down to about 5 weeks left, and the buys start to dissipate, and everybody is now getting involved. So there you go. All right, when we come back here on the Sports Bash Live, 97.3 ESPN, would you switch? I got a scenario that has come up, and I'm going to lay it out for you, Peachy. Well, Josh, you can answer it too, but Peachy's a father, so this one will relate more to him. More Sports Bash. You're not going to want to miss this story. That's next. This is the Sports Bash Live. Chickies and Pete's, the official sports bar of the Philadelphia Eagles.
This is South Jersey's official home for Philadelphia Eagles football. The Eagles continue the 2024 season this Sunday in Baltimore against the Ravens.
Here comes the rush. They've got him again! Yeah, this offensive line cannot block the Eagles.
Pre-game coverage starts at 3 p.m. with Merrill Reese and Mike Quick calling all the action starting at 4:25. This is the play-by-play home of the Philadelphia Eagles. 97.3 ESPN, South Jersey's Eagles station.
Hey, AI, how many touchdowns did the Eagles score in the 2023 season?
The Eagles scored 49 touchdowns in the 2023 season.
Hey, AI, I had a fall recently and need to recover. Please make me walk again.
I'm sorry, That is beyond my capabilities.
Hey, AI, my parents are getting older and I can't take care of them myself. Can you help care for them?
I am sorry, that is beyond my capabilities. AI will never replace care. But here's what I found for the best care near you.
Autumn Lake Healthcare Centers, trusted leaders in skilled nursing rehabilitation and senior care, and proud partners of the Philadelphia Eagles.
I got a line.
He got a line.
She got a line. We got 4 lines. Cricket Nation. Cue finger guns. Really easy. Super stress-free. 5G so fast. Like blazing fast. Games and memes. You'll have a blast. You can get fast 5G across 4 lines. You can get fast 5G across 4 lines. As we discuss, take it from us. We 4 are 1. Cricket Nation.
And only $25 a line. Welcome to more lines. Welcome to Cricket Nation. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Cricket 5G requires a compatible device and is not available everywhere. Discount varies by line. Fees may apply. Terms and restrictions apply. See cricketwireless.com for details.
Find what you love, love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Guys in the know and prices so low, it just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
With curbside pickup available, you'll always find what you love, only at Total Wine and More.
Drink responsibly, B21. Something is happening here. Off the New Jersey coast, a new offshore wind project is generating nearly $2 billion in economic benefits for the state. We're generating thousands of local jobs, but the most important thing we're generating is trust. Look closer at Atlantic Shore's offshore wind, and you'll see that we're generating a clean energy future with a team that values safety, the environment, science, and a commitment to being a good neighbor. Learn more at AtlanticShoresWind.com.
Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? So you've got an oil change coming up. You can go farther and save on full synthetic with our oil change special. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Valvoline Advanced Full Synthetic with an STP Extended Life Oil Filter for just $33.99. Get the parts you need when you need them at AutoZone or AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, where every nail-biting overtime win, breakaway, pick six, three-point shot, underdog win, buzzer beater, shootout, walk-off, and absolutely every play in between is amazing. From football to basketball and hockey to baseball, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in New Jersey.
Guys, it's finally here. Wendy's new salted caramel frosty. It's cold, salted, yet perfectly sweet, delicious, and it's at the top of Santa's Christmas list. What? Santa has a list too, you know. And he's a huge salted caramel frosty fan. Probably why he's so jolly all the time. The iconic frosty with a salted caramel twist? Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Salted caramel frosty flavored with other natural flavors.
The holidays are here at the Home Depot, so let's get to decorating. Find your perfect tree in our huge assortment of shapes, sizes, and styles. Like the easy-to-assemble Jackson Noble fir, with pre-lit branches perfect for styling with all your favorite ornaments. Or the Flock Starry Light Fraser fir, with over 1,900 pre-lit memory wire branches that keep their shape so it's ready right out of the box. Ooh. Find the perfect tree now at the Home Depot.
Go to get your game on at the Gallery Bar Book and Games at Ocean Casino Resort. Cheers your favorite drinks while cheering on your favorite team. Get in on the parlay while in the middle of a party. Go for the sports scene and go for the endless screens. Go to the gallery. Go to the Fanatic Sportsbook. Go for the win at Ocean Casino Resort. For more information, visit theoceanac.com. Must be 21 or older to wager or consume alcohol. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
It's the Sports Bash with Mike Gill.
Do I have everybody's attention now?
On 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app.
All right, Sports Bash Live, 97.3 ESPN, the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app, live video streaming on the X platform, YouTube at Mike Gill Show. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel. That'd be great. So, would you switch, Peachy? Have you seen this story?
Well, it depends. What's the story?
2 families in Los Angeles were mistakenly given each other's embryos by a fertility clinic.
Wow.
They found out 5 years later that they had the wrong kids.
That's unbelievable.
So they've been raising the wrong kid for 5 years. Would you trade for your real biological children, or would you keep the child that you have connected with for 5 years?
I would probably keep the child. I mean, that's 5 years is a very long time. I'm keeping.
You're not making that trade.
No, you can't turn your back on the child that you've been raising for the last 5 years. Can't do it.
Tough situation. I mean, there's no right or wrong answer here, is there?
No.
So the two families live 10 minutes away.
That's good.
They spend holidays together.
You said that's good.
So they hired an attorney. They learned that the baby's biological parents lived 10 minutes away. They had a daughter the same age, and that's when they started to look into this. They found out that the families had each other's kids.
I think they should probably sue the hospital or whatever and then live happily ever after.
And
right
split
next
the
to each other.
profits.
Yeah.
So the families had similar financial situations and parenting styles. Neither was particularly religious. And according to the reports, the girls now spend holidays and birthdays together. They went to the same preschool. Now they go to different schools for kindergarten, but they are friends. And how odd is that? You're my mom, but she's my mom.
Yep.
You don't make the trade.
No, I don't make the trade now.
Anybody out there making that trade, do you want your real biological child back, or are you too connected to the one that you just raised for 5 years?
I'm a big believer that everything happens for a reason, so there must be a reason why things play out the way they did.
Yeah, somebody effed up.
No, the way it's going to play out is we're all going to sue the hospital, we're all going to make a ton of money, and we'll live happily ever after, like Mike said.
Yeah. Yep.
No, Pete said. I don't want to take credit for his brilliant idea. 609-403-0973. What would you do? Would you make the swap, or do you keep the kid that's not yours? 609-403-0973. Sports Pass Live, 97.3 ESPN. This hour of the show, thanks to our friends at Broadlee's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, your trusted source for heating, plumbing service, and installation. Call 609-390-3907, online at broadlees.net. DeCecco, football at 4. Next.
It's Sixers basketball tomorrow night on 97.3 ESPN with the voice of the Sixers, Tom McGinnis, calling all the exciting play-by-play action.
Three balls got Sharon McCain injecting life back into the Sixers with a made three.
It's Sixers Rockets tomorrow night. Coverage begins at 8 p.m. It's Sixers basketball all season long on South Jersey's radio home for Philadelphia 76ers basketball. 97.3 ESPN.
This Thanksgiving at Total Wine & More, find bourbons and Cabernets that you adore. Our helpful guides are so friendly and nice. So many bottles to try at the lowest price. So gather with friends as you sit down to eat. Grateful for all who made Thanksgiving complete.
With curbside pickup available and the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Looking for the perfect RV to hit the open road this fall? Look no further than Hitch RV, your premier RV dealer. They are offering unbeatable pricing during their fall reduction sale on a wide range of RVs, from cozy travel trailers to luxurious motorhomes. Hitch RV is dedicated to providing exceptional customer service and quality RVs. Visit them today at hitchrv.com/Berlin or call 856-629-7400. Hitch RV, your adventure awaits.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
It's Black Friday build-up at Lowe's. Stack up the savings with deals all month. Get up to 50% off select major appliances. Plus, take an additional 10% off when you buy select major appliances. And don't wait to save on string lights, starting at just $2.98 for 100 count. Shop these deals in-store or online now, because Lowe's knows deals. Appliances valid 11/6 to 12/4. Cannot be combined with additional discounts. See Lowe's.com for details and qualifying items. String lights valid 11/21 to 12/4 while supplies last.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, you know to check that your seats aren't in the visitor section first, before buying tickets.
I'm so excited for this game. I can't believe you got us tickets.
Me too. Wait, are we on the wrong side?
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds.
This is going to be a long game.
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets. And see why. It's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in New Jersey. Terms and conditions apply.
The official Eras Tour book coming to Target on November 29th, featuring over 500 photographs from the tour, including never-before-seen performance and behind-the-scenes images. And for the first time, the Tortured Poets Department, the Anthology, with 35 tracks on CD and vinyl.
Only at Target.
Hi, Merrill Reese from Mike's Seafood Polar Bear Run Walk for Autism in Sea Isle City. The Mike's Seafood Run Walk for Autism has been promoting awareness and raising funds for special service schools and families of special needs children. Come join over 5,000 participants in the 5K race and the Family Fun Walk, followed by a great after party. Join us in huge heated tents where there will be great food, unbelievable door prizes, and the awards ceremony. The party is not just for the runners and walkers, it's for the entire family. They'll have clowns, superheroes, and face painters for the kids. For more information or to register, go to polarbearrunwalkforautism.com. That's polarbearrunwalkforautism.com.
Mike's Seafood Run Walk for Autism is Saturday, February 15th at JFK and the Boardwalk in Sea Isle City. Registration is from 9:30 to 11:30. Run Walk starts at noon. That's Saturday, February 15th at JFK and the Boardwalk in Sea Isle City. Any day you could do something for children with disabilities, it's a good day.
Home of the Philadelphia Eagles,
Thank God, it's a sack!
Sixers,
Oh, baby!
and Flyers.
He scored!
97.3 ESPN, WENJ, WENJ HD, Millville, Atlantic City, a Town Square media station serving all of South Jersey. 97.3 ESPN presents the Sports Bash with Mike Gill. It's time for Football at 4 with Andrew DeCecco, powered by the Inside the Birds podcast.
We're never satisfied. That hunger for more. That hunger for more. I have it. Everyone has it.
Now live, this is Football at 4.
Football at 4 is powered by the Inside the Birds podcast. It's brought to you by Bet365. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Sports Bash originating today from Chickies and Pete's in Egg Harbor Township. Nice full bar today, getting ready for the Thanksgiving holiday. Thanksgiving and football. The Eagles will resume play on Sunday against the Baltimore Ravens. But before we get to that, Andrew DeCecco is here to get us the lowdown on everything Eagles. He was in L.A. with the Birds as they beat the Rams. Let's take a look back at that game and get some thoughts on him as this Eagles team improved to 9-2. Andrew DeCecco, what's up, buddy? All is good, bud. And L.A., obviously, an interesting opponent, kind of a middle-of-the-road team, but they have a lot of explosive type players on offense. They presume a big challenge with the wide receivers there. I want to get your take on how this young secondary impacted that game and really changed the dynamics of it with those receivers that could be a handful. Yeah, I think that's where people are starting to get with that secondary is that they're good. But you mentioned it, Andrew, the communication. And I think last year we saw the communication breakdown in that secondary, leading to a ton of big plays. I think the other thing is the ability to tackle. You mentioned Cooper DeJean, but the communication on that back end is so important in this defense. And I think that is really an underrated part of why this team has been so successful defensively. Obviously, Andrew, I want to get into the Brandon Graham thing because it ties into what you saw in L.A. How big was the Eagles' pass rush against Matthew Stafford and that Rams team, and how that impacted the game? Andrew, take us inside the locker room in California after that game when teammates heard the news that Brandon Graham was, in fact, going to miss the rest of the season. Yeah, you talk about impactful. You wrote over at InsideTheBirds.com that, guys like Jordan Mailata shed tears in the locker room. That shows you the impact that Graham has off the field. On the field, you mentioned it as well. You were watching live and in person the best game that I thought he played all season. I concur with you there. So the question moving forward is, now what? What is in that room? How do they tackle those snaps and the production that Brandon Graham gave them this year? Let me get your take on Hunt coming out of the draft. Obviously, Andrew, you do a great job on the draft. A lot of people thought he was a reach in the third round, but they liked, he was a guy who played safety in the Ivy League. So obviously an athlete. Do you think that he is ready to play more snaps and help this team out, or is that asking a little bit too much? It's one thing to see what Saquon Barkley did on television. Andrew DeCecco from InsideTheBirds.com. You were in L.A. Give us just a kind of a take on seeing it all materialize. How you're sitting at an angle where you can see the holes kind of open, the linemen, the pulling, and it all kind of happened in front like a symphony almost. It seems like. Yeah, he's up there. By the way, those numbers have dropped now to plus 425. So it was 6,000 on Friday, 600 yesterday. It's down to 425 today. So if you wanted to bet Saquon, you might be a little late on getting the best value there. But any reason, you take a look at this offense. In their wins, Andrew, 39 rushing attempts per win in the 9 wins. Some people would ask about the passing game. Do you have concerns that if they're down in a game – that their passing game is not where it needs to be? Yeah. Well, yeah, and, you could get a better perspective on this, seeing it all kind of unfold, how much those safeties have to keep starting to creep and creep and creep because of Barkley, and then when they creep and creep and creep, they get you over the top, and that's when they kind of get those big plays. They don't throw often, but when they do, it's like you got to pick your spots, but when you pick them, you got to convert in those instances. Yeah. All right, there's a look back at the Eagles' win over the Rams. Andrew DeCecco from InsideTheBirds.com and the Inside the Birds podcast was in L.A. with the Eagles and the Rams. Tomorrow, we'll take a closer look at the Eagles' matchup against the Ravens. We saw the Ravens last night, obviously, so we'll have a better take on them tomorrow. We'll look at those matchups with Andrew DeCecco from InsideTheBirds.com here on Football at 4. Thanks, bud. All right, Andrew DeCecco's back tomorrow with a preview of the Eagles and Ravens, and we'll keep it here for a couple more minutes and kind of get some thoughts. when Andrew talked about, I don't know what he said, I don't know what your vantage point was on TV, but the Goddard thing. See, those are the things when the reporters are at the game that they can see better than we can, is the play materialize, who's open, who he didn't see, and all that stuff. Now, you can get the all-22 tape. I don't know how many fans have the time in their day to sit and watch all 22 videos all day. But for those of you who do that, you can see that that's the one question that I think I have with this team moving forward. I like the defense, although the Graham injury. Let's start there. How many people were buying into the defense, but now that Graham is out, have really become conflicted on whether the defense is good enough or not? I mean, was Brandon Graham that important in everybody's mind?
He is, and he was, but I'm still buying into the defense. I'm still there. It's just next man up. For me, it's just next man up.
Do they have a next man to come up that can – I am shocked and stunned at the level of production that they were getting from Brandon Graham. I mean, I was one of the people at the end of last year that was thinking, like, you're really going to bring this guy back again? Like, he was basically looked like he gave you nothing last year. This is just one of those, hey, 15 years, and you're just bringing him back for that, not to actually be a part of the rotation. He's not only a part of the rotation, guys. He's at the top of the rotation. He's Zach Wheeler on this rotation.
After all those injuries, torn Achilles, this one, he had some injuries earlier on in his career.
A couple of things I want to ask you guys. Number one, do you think Brandon Graham's production this year was the deterrent for the Eagles to consider acquiring pass rush help at the deadline?
No, I just don't think there was was there an option at the deadline that went somewhere or was in the news that the Eagles could have got and didn't?
I mean, we always hear Jadeveon Clowney's name being thrown out there. Would he have helped this team right now?
Don't think so. I mean, I remember at the trade deadline, we went through the options and we're like, there's nobody of substance that's really going to help this team. Why? We talked about it in like week 2, 3, 4 when they were struggling with the pass rush. Nobody wants to trade pass rushers, right? No one's saying, hey, you want to take our pass rusher? Unless, last year you had a weird situation with Washington. They traded Montez Sweat and Chase Young. Now, Chase Young, for whatever reason, man, he looked like he was going to be a world beater his first 10 games of his career. He looked like he was going to be something really special, and he has turned into a vagabond.
The injuries. Something happened with those injuries and him coming back. Nobody can figure it out.
So I don't think there was a legitimate option on the trade deadline, that moved, or why didn't they try? Like Jadeveon Clowney, is he doing anything right now in Carolina?
I mean, I'll pull it up, but the other name out there was, remember, Zadarius Smith got traded to the Lions.
He did get traded to the Lions, and I don't know that he's had I think he's been hurt.
He has been hurt. That's correct.
So, and look, Washington made a trade. They went out and got Latimer, and he hasn't played yet at all for them.
Yeah, he has not played.
By the way, Clowney has 2 sacks in 9 games.
So, and listen, I get it. He's playing in Carolina. It's not a good team. They're constantly down, so teams don't pass on them as much. But I don't think he would have been an impact. I just, I was reading an article. I think Brandon Lee Gouton posted this. So if you guys can maybe pull that up. Brandon Lee Gouton from Bleeding Green Nation posted 8 options for the Eagles to look at or that are available, I guess. I don't know. When you find his article, you'll be able to pull them up. But there was like 8 names that the Eagles can consider to replace Brandon Graham. I read the article yesterday morning and said, this just isn't getting it done. And the first name on that list was Jason Pierre-Paul.
Right, he's 36. I got the article.
All right, so give me the names on that list.
JPP we mentioned, he's 36. He does have experience with Vic Fangio.
There's like 4 guys on this list that have Vic Fangio experience, by the way.
Melvin Ingram, he's 35.
Yeah.
He overlapped with Fangio in Miami last year.
Mm-hmm.
Justin Houston, his name's been mentioned on this show today, I believe. He's 36.
He's getting released by the Lions.
Okay.
Yeah, he's on the Lions but getting released. If you're getting released by the Lions, who had an injury,
multiple injuries,
that was more significant than the injury you had, Philadelphia, That's not a good sign. Melvin Ingram, Melvin Ingram, 35 years old. He's been bouncing all over the place. He hasn't really been anything of substance in, my gosh, let's see.
Since South Carolina.
Right. That's a good point. He hasn't been very good he was a little bit of a disappointment. He last had a 10-sack season in 2017. Last year in Miami, he had 6 sacks, actually, for the Dolphins in 17 games. He started 3. I can't imagine that he helps them out, but go ahead.
Bruce Irvin,
West Virginia.
37 years of age.
He had some good years with Seattle, but I don't.
He's a one-trick pony.
Maybe that's what they need, though. They just need a guy who can, when you're out on the field playing meaningful snaps, grab a sack, make a play.
Right, like Chris Long said on his podcast. Like, I can go rush the quarterback 10 times, and I can get him once.
That could be what they need.
That story from Chris Long is so funny.
Bruce Irvin, listen, he was awesome at West Virginia. He wasn't awesome at any point in the NFL. He was good. He was like a 6, 7, 8 sack guy. That last time he had 8 sacks was in 2019.
Would you rather have Bruce Irvin or Chris Long at this point?
Probably Chris Long.
Jalen Hunt.
Yeah. All right, continue.
Rasheem Green. He's a younger guy, 2018 third-round pick, only 27 years of age. He was cut from Jacksonville this season.
That tells you all you need to know.
So we'll pass by him. Jannard Avery.
He's been here, done that.
Right. The Eagles acquired him prior to the 2019 trade deadline.
For a 4th-round pick, I believe, from Cleveland.
Kamoko Ture, 2nd-round pick of the Colts.
Yeah, we all know who that is.
We're going to pass by him. And
I figured you would know who that is.
Yeah, Sports Geek.
Yeah.
I don't know that one.
Kamoko Ture?
Yeah.
I've never heard of him.
And finally, Tack McKinley, 26 overall pick.
No, I
remember him. He
He
was from UCLA originally. He was drafted by the Vikings.
No, to Dallas, I thought.
Was he drafted by Dallas? Or did he play for the Vikings? Let me pull it up.
No, you're thinking of Bryant McKinney.
Yeah, different McKinney. Falcons draft pick. We were both wrong.
So he's a practice squad guy with the Jets currently.
He was a 1st-round pick. I do remember that.
He had 2 seasons with 6 and 7 sacks, and then it looks like the injury bug bit him.
Yeah, so none of those. So long story short, that's what you're finding on the market right now.
Yeah,
Not
nothing
all
exciting.
No.
Now, on the flip side is the other question I was going to ask you, Mike. Did you know that Brandon Graham has only accounted for 10% of the Eagles' sacks this year?
That's not surprising. Graham it's odd to say this. He's like 3rd all-time in Eagles sacks, but he's never been a big – he only had double-digit sacks once in his career. He did that in a couple of years ago. He had 10.5. He's never been a big sack guy, but he has the underrated thing about Brandon Graham, I think we always leave out, is he's good against the run.
Right.
He's good at stopping that's what he did the other night. My gosh, he's making tackles in the backfield. He's all over the place, but he's good against the run. And these other edge rushers, I think McMullen said this earlier in the show, that Derrick Henry is bigger than Nolan Smith is.
Correct.
They don't have a lot of guys that are your big defensive end. They have guys who are small, quick, fast to try to rush the quarterback. And Brandon Graham is like the one guy from like years ago of like the defensive ends that still have a little bit of ability to put their hand down, rush the quarterback, and also hold up the tackle and try to stop.
Well, the comment that I heard, Mike, from multiple people, I heard it from 3 different former players, Luke Kuechly, Bo Allen, and Chris Long. They said that strength ages better than speed. And if you're already a strong player, you only get stronger as you get older.
Yeah, we talked about this with McMullen earlier. I said the difference between when you sign a guy like Ndamukong Suh and Linval Joseph, you have old man strength still. You can still be a strong guy that can hold your ground as a defensive tackle, but you don't have the speed and burst to get off the line from the edge to rush the quarterback.
Right.
And that's why
That's the difference.
The names that you mentioned at 35 and 36 don't make a lot of sense.
To me, I mean, they're going to be missing him on the field, but also just his leadership. And I know they said that they're going to try and still bring him on the road and have him do all that, but he's just not going to be playing. And I don't think that – hopefully the guys continue to play hard for him. And to me, that's what they're going to miss is a guy like Brian Dawkins just not playing for you.
All right, when we come back, we got another edition of Nick's Nuggets here on the Sports Bash Live, 97.3 ESPN, the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app, live video streaming on the X platform and on YouTube at Mike Gill Show. Subscribe. And when we come back, we got the Nuggets. This hour of the Sports Bash, it's brought to you by Jersey Cow, a great place for the family to hang out and eat ice cream. How about ice cream on Thanksgiving? Well, right around Thanksgiving. We still got time before the big day. It's open every day from noon to 10. Check to see if they're open on Thanksgiving. That I do not know. Northfield Brigantine, they're open year-round. They got fall flavors and only the best ingredients. 4 o'clock hour of the Sports Bash is brought to you by Jersey Cow, a great place to hang out and eat ice cream. All right, when we come back, Nick's Nuggets are here. Nikki Earnshaw joins the Sports Bash on 97.3 ESPN.
You're listening to the Sports Bash with Mike Gill.
Never thought this radio stunt would catch on so big.
On 97.3 ESPN.
Jersey Cow, a great place for the family to hang out and eat ice cream. At Jersey Cow, everything is homemade, small batch, right here in South Jersey with only the best ingredients. Enjoy Jersey Cow in Northfield and Brigantine with all the fall flavors, bringing back popular classics while introducing some future favorites as well. For the best ice cream with constantly rotating flavors, come taste the best homemade delicious ice cream made right at Jersey Cow. Visit every day from noon till 10 at both Northfield and Brigantine locations. Ice cream, a year-round thing at Jersey Cow.
The holidays are here at the Home Depot. If you're working on getting ready for company,
a lot of company,
make sure you're ready with Black Friday savings. Get up to 40% off select appliances, plus up to an extra $1,000 off select kitchen appliances. Upgrade your kitchen with top brands like GE Profile and get sleek cutting-edge appliances to make sure you
got hosting handled.
Yeah, you do. Get Black Friday savings now with free delivery and financing on select appliances this holiday at the Home Depot. Offer valid November 6th through December 4th. U.S. only. See store online for details.
I need a new car. Under 20 grand? Okay, well, what's my trade worth? You know what? I'm going to Matt Blatt Kia, where I can get some straight talk.
Brand new Matt Blatt Kia Forte LXS, under 20 grand. That's right, a brand new Kia, just $19,999. With any trades, that's less than most used vehicles. Currently buried in a loan or lease, Matt Blatt Kia wants to get you released and into your new Kia with zero down, zero payments until February, even 0% for 72 months on every clearly marked new Matt Blatt Kia in stock. So bring any trade, because if you have a job clearing $450 per week, we want to get you approved today.
It's gotta be a Matt Blatt Kia.
With approved credit, 24 ED9, 1389 per thousand finance. Not all will qualify. Credit may affect down payment. Offers can't be combined. Go to mattblackkiafj.com for complete details, or 888-505-667. Our price includes all costs to be paid by consumer, except for licensing, registration, and taxes. You're paying after rebates and incentives to dealer. Expires 12/4/24. Matt Blatt Kia, 6211 Black Horse Pike, Egg Harbor Township, and on Route 37 in Toms River.
It's Black Friday build-up at Lowe's. Stack up the savings with deals all month. Get up to 50% off select major appliances. Plus, take an additional 10% off when you buy select major appliances. And don't wait to save on string lights, starting at just $2.98 for 100 count. Shop these deals in-store or online now, because Lowe's knows deals. Appliances valid 11/6 through 12/4. Cannot be combined with additional discounts. See Lowe's.com for details and qualifying items. String lights valid 11/21 through 12/4 while supplies last.
Go to get your game on at the Gallery Bar Book and Games at Ocean Casino Resort. Cheers your favorite drinks while cheering on your favorite team. Get in on the parlay while in the middle of a party. Go for the sports scene and go for the endless screens. Go to the Gallery. Go to the Fanatic Sportsbook. Go for the win at Ocean Casino Resort. For more information, visit theoceanac.com. Must be 21 or older to wager or consume alcohol. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Shop Dell Technologies Black Friday event for their lowest prices of the year. The future is on sale today with limited time deals on select PCs like the XPS 16 that accelerate AI with Intel Core Ultra processors. Black Friday is their biggest sale of the year and the best time to upgrade, but it's only here for a limited time. Shop now at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
With GMF financing to qualify buyers excludes Traverse and Corvette excludes prior sales.
Why wait for Black Friday when the biggest Black Friday sale is going on now all month long at Bennett Chevrolet, where you can save up to 20% and more on your new vehicle? Because Bennett is selling new vehicles at $1,000 below, yes, $1,000 below the real GM supplier employee price. Plus, you keep all the rebates, saving you up to 20%. But of course, there's more with available 0% financing. Looking for used? Bennett's giving a minimum $10,000, a minimum 10 grand for your trade, no matter its condition, towards any pre-owned in stock. Imagine what you'll get for a good trade if Bennett's paying a minimum 10 grand for total junk. Bennett's deals are unbeatable during our Black Friday sales event, and there's never any hassles or sales pressure because our non-commissioned sales staff is paid on your satisfaction, not how much you spend. The best Black Friday sales going on now at Bennett Chevy, Egg Harbor Township, and BennettChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
This is the Town Square, New Jersey Info and Weather Network.
Progressive Insurance presents the Sports Flash on 97.3 ESPN. NFL, the Eagles will be in Baltimore Sunday to take on the Ravens. The game will feature the top two running backs in the NFL in Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry. The Eagles have won 7 straight games. They are 9-2 on top of the NFC East. The Ravens are 8-4 after winning on Monday night against the LA Chargers. NHL, the Flyers are heading to Nashville Wednesday night to take on the Predators, a 1-game trip for Philadelphia, who are coming off a 5-4 shootout loss Monday to the Vegas Golden Knights. The Flyers blew an early 3-0 lead and have now dropped 3 of their last 4. NBA, the Sixers return Wednesday, hosting the Houston Rockets and wrapping up a 3-game homestand. Philadelphia has dropped 6 of their last 7 after losing Sunday to the LA Clippers, a game they played without Joel Embiid and Paul George. Both will be game-time decisions on Wednesday night. I'm Tony Desiri, and that's your Sports Flash on 97.3 ESPN.
New Jersey is the Garden State. But did you know that one of the most important things we can farm is wind? Offshore wind provides clean, renewable energy. It creates jobs and drives economic growth. In fact, it's estimated that a single wind farm can create over 4,000 jobs and add more than $700 million to the state's economy. Offshore wind, propelling New Jersey's future. To learn more, visit nj.gov/offshore wind.
From the Town Square, New Jersey Info and Weather Network, I'm Chief Meteorologist Dan Zarrow. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving Eve, huge getaway day, and the weather will cooperate. It'll be cool, but dry and fair. Mainly clear skies tonight, calm winds, cold temperatures, low around 37. Tomorrow we cool down to 51 with sunny clouds and dry weather, but Thanksgiving Thursday, a different story. Periods of rain throughout the day. It'll be cloudy and pretty cool, high of 55. Get weather 24/7 wherever you are. Download our free mobile app today.
Something is happening here. Off the New Jersey coast, a new offshore wind project is generating nearly $2 billion in economic benefits for the state. We're generating thousands of local jobs, but the most important thing we're generating is trust. Look closer at Atlantic Shore's offshore wind, and you'll see that we're generating a clean energy future with a team that values safety, the environment, science, and a commitment to being a good neighbor. Learn more at AtlanticShoresWind.com.
You're listening to the Sports Bag with Mike Gill.
And it just keeps getting better.
On 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app.
All right, we're live at Chickens and Pete's, Egg Harbor Township, the Crab House, the Sports Bar. It's the official sports bar of the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles here on Sunday, 4:25 after Thanksgiving. After all, now you go turkey Thanksgiving? What do you go?
Oh, I go turkey.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
Nuggets? You go nuggets
I gotta go
turkey?
I gotta go turkey. Gotta go turkey on Thanksgiving. It's tradition.
No turkey in my house.
No?
What?
No. Nah, I'm not a big turkey guy.
Really?
What are you eating, hoagies or what?
Holiday ham.
Holiday ham, all right.
Yeah, we go holiday ham, pork loin.
You don't go both? You don't go ham and turkey?
Nobody in our house really likes the turkey, so we were getting the turkey, and this big old turkey was sitting there, and nobody was touching it.
Huh. That's fascinating. So you gotta have the
turkey's
turkey.
out, the holiday ham is in.
I feel like ham's overrated. Ham's just very overrated.
Nah, you got a good ham, glaze it.
Turkey. I'd rather have dry turkey. By the way, I'm not even having the dark meat or the bones or anything like that, or the wings or anything like that. I'm going white meat, dry, no gravy either. That's how weird I am.
Yeah, I'm not a gravy guy either, so I can jive with you there. Jive turkey with you.
Yeah,
There's
can't
no
do the
flavor. I mean, where's the flavor coming from?
That's why I don't like the turkey. You have to put if you have to put something on it, it's not good enough for me.
See, I like it dry, and I'll do that, and we're just fine if it's dry. So I can't. Yeah, I'm going turkey dry, no gravy. The gravy is unnecessary, not needed. I think that's overrated too. So ham overrated and the gravy overrated on Thanksgiving.
By the way, big day tomorrow. We're all going to be live at Mud Hen Brewing Company down in Wildwood for this year's 99 Growlers party. Earnshaw will be there. Rothstein will be there. Pete G will be there. We'll be there live for the party. And we just added a prize, Nikki Earnshaw.
Whoa.
We just added a prize. Some big news here. Thanks to our friends. I want to give them the credit because they donated this. The Alton Lake Healthcare Center. Skilled nursing rehabilitation with elite level care in a warm, vibrant atmosphere. Visit autumnlakehealthcare.com to find a location nearest you. Add it to the 99 Growlers.
Wow.
A Brandon Graham signed football with a letter of authenticity. Someone's walking away with that tomorrow.
That's one of the top prizes automatically. It just shoots right to the top. That's fantastic.
That's what I said.
That's huge. I mean, and it's got the letter of authenticity. Oh, man.
The letter of authenticity.
Real.
So I asked PG, would you rather walk out? No, everybody wins a pair of tickets. Everybody's winning something tomorrow. Would you rather walk out with Eagles Steelers club box seats or Brandon Graham autograph football?
Oh, man. That's a tough one. I don't know. I feel like I got to lean towards BG. I think I got to lean towards BG. He's the legend. He's the legend.
We have to
go to a
revamp
game.
this entire contest and redo 99 people and call that the grand prize.
Well, listen, the grand prize is in the eye of the beholder.
That's right.
I mean, we've
It's all
had
relative.
years where, okay, this is back during the process, which you can say, like, the Sixers obviously are not a hot ticket right this moment. But we had years when the Sixers were in the process and the Flyers were kind of winning, and we had people that were winning Flyers tickets and somebody else winning Sixers tickets, and they were trying to make trades with each other on the spot there.
Now that's allowed, right? That's
Yeah,
permitted?
once you can
Like
make
that.
a trade with
Okay.
with somebody else. If somebody
Ooh.
wants to make a trade with you, you can
Maybe
do that.
throw in a 6-pack or something of Mud Hen's finest.
Maybe I'll be in charge of the 99 bottles trade machine. How about that?
Well, you
I'll
will
be in charge
be
of
in
that.
charge. You are in charge of this all tomorrow. So tomorrow, by the way, Mudhen, we will be there the whole show. I want to stress, if you are not one of the 99 and you are listening and you want to get in, you are eligible if you get on the waiting list. Now, last year, I think like 80 plus of the 99 showed up, which, that left about 15 spots off the waiting list. So if you want to go and just come watch the show and then put your name on the waiting list, you can do that. And if someone doesn't show up, we will start calling off the waiting list. Okay?
All right. I
That's
like
how
it.
works.
I like it. It's going to be a lot of
and
fun.
I will say, Mudhen. So last year, Mudhen, there was a gentleman from Mudhen that brought me a 4-pack of Gander, which is one of my favorite beers from Mudhen. They brought me that last year at 99 bottles.
Wow. Are you sharing?
Well, I did not share because it's one of my favorites.
So I don't get any. So you're telling
No,
me
we'll
you're
see.
keeping the 4-pack
Well,
for yourself.
Well, we're going to be at the place tomorrow. You can order whatever the heck you want.
All right. Sounds good. Sounds good.
owe
I want
Jeff
to
in
take
Ocean
yours,
City.
though. Mike, I'm taking yours.
Okay,
I want
you can
yours.
have mine. I owe Jeff in Ocean City a beer. So I'm getting
right.
that beer. He just texted into the show earlier, and he asked if he can cash that beer in tomorrow.
Now, what was the bet? You don't even remember what the bet
No,
was.
we bet. He's a Penn State guy. I'm West Virginia.
Oh, so you bet on that first game of the year. Okay.
Yeah, and West Virginia lost, and I owe him a beer. So
That
he
game
said,
had a lightning delay. That game was poor.
he said, can I cash in on that beer tomorrow? And I said, you may.
Yeah,
So
that's
Jeff in Ocean City.
Good stuff.
you-
A good
that
time to
beer
do it.
tomorrow is coming from me. All right.
All right, that's a good time to do it. All right, let's get into these nuggets. We got a few minutes to go here. Nugget number one, we got to talk about this Embiid's injury situation. There's just more and more and more nonsense coming out. Sam Amick of The Athletic reporting that the Sixers cannot guarantee that he is going to be okay with this knee problem. Apparently, according to him and The Athletic, The team knew about the injury before they re-signed him to that contract extension and the significance of it. They are confident that they can continue to manage it. But so far, Mike, they have not been able to manage this injury properly. I mean, the fact they knew beforehand, before signing him to that extension, is very, very alarming to me at this point and this stage of Embiid's career. That is something they should have took a look at before committing all of that money in those years to a 30-plus-year-old Joel Embiid at this point.
Well, I'm going to say, I don't know how much this whole rat in the locker room is contributing to this. And I know people would say that's unprofessional. If he's this upset about it, what's to say that he's not stretching this out a little bit? You're telling me his knee is not allowing him to play at all right now?
I don't know. I don't even know what to think anymore at this point. I mean, they're managing the knee. He's got inflammation. I mean, you saw when he played, they had that thing in bubble wrap, essentially. It was gigantic the way they had it, they bandaged up.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, he's played, 4 games this year. So he's played 4 games. The last time he played was, I think, on a Wednesday night, like a week ago tomorrow. He didn't play Friday. He didn't play Saturday. He's not playing tomorrow night. I mean, if they thought the knee was this bad, I have to question then I have to question how they made and came to the decision that this is what they want to do. If they knew that this was going to be the way it was, I can't imagine they thought it was going to be like this. I refuse to think that.
That's my thinking. I feel like they thought, okay, we could probably get around this, right? And it just makes you wonder, were they overstepping and being overconfident? Like, oh, we'll be fine. We can manage the knee. It's the regular season. He can sit out games during the regular season, and we can just find ourselves and find a way into the postseason like they did last year for most of the year. I mean, they were really bad in that second half without Embiid. And this year it's kind of carried over. It's a little bit of a new roster, but it's kind of the same idea, but they're even worse at this point. And I don't know if they thought they could just waltz into the postseason and have Embiid play. I don't know what the thinking was here if this injury is this bad, because the way they've managed it, it just seems like he's not really going to be healthy and 100% anymore.
No, and listen to what I'm saying. I mean, I can't believe that they signed this contract and felt he's going to miss 3-4 games at a time. There's no way that they thought that.
To me, I wonder what the Olympics did to his knee.
Yeah.
That's what I really wonder, is how much swelling he
played
had
at the Olympics.
Yeah, but it's still, I mean, he was still on it, active, scrimmaging, whatever. I mean, that's what I wonder. And by the way, he played last Wednesday, 35 minutes, 35 points.
Yeah, 35 minutes, 35 points. So he went from playing 35 minutes, scored a point a minute, to he has not played now, to this will be the 3rd game that he has not been able to play after that. I can't imagine that they said, we're aware of this.
Yeah, I can't, like, he's still productive. Like, he's on the floor, he's still going to be productive, but it's how much can he play with Paul George? You just signed him to a max deal. How much can he play with McCain, Maxey, play with the new guys around him? That's something that comes with time and playing together. I mean, how long is this going to last? Is it just going to be over and over? He's going to miss 4 or 5 games here. It's not even just going to be back-to-backs. It's going to be even more than the back-to-backs at this point.
Well, yeah, I mean, to me, now Paul George has come out and said, look, don't write us off. Like, we can fix this thing. I'm not buying that at all. I mean, that's great that he comes out and say it. What is he going to say? Oh, I can't believe I signed here. What an idiot I am. No, like, that's not the way that the messaging is going to be. I can't imagine any of them are looking around saying, this is what they anticipated. Like I said before, they could say, hey, we're going to get off to a slow start. We're going to get out of the gates a little slow. But you're like, you're 3-13. Instead of being 3-13, maybe you're 6-10.
Yeah.
Right? No, 3-13, you're a couple losses away, from basically the math saying you're not going to be able to get there. Like, and I have seen nothing. There is nothing when I watch these games that I say, okay, I can see that they got a rotation down, and these guys, like, it's basically, hey, Maxey and McCain, shoot the lights out, and if that doesn't work, we're screwed.
Well,
like, that's what this is right now.
They don't have any shooting. That's the problem. You're in a shooter's league, and they don't have any shooting. The only guys that can shoot are Maxey and McCain. If they're not shooting well, they're done. I mean, they're 29th in three-point percentage, 29th in points per game. They're just at the bottom of the barrel in most of these key categories. In true shooting percentage, I believe they're 27th. So they're at the bottom of the barrel with all the other players around them. Kelly Oubre has not been the same player as he was last year. Kyle Lowry looks old. Eric Gordon looks older. They signed a lot of older guys and let guys like Buddy Hield walk. And, DeAnthony Melton, who had some injury problems, but they let those type of players walk. And it doesn't seem like the depth is really there for them this year because of how old the other players are.
No, Eric Gordon, I tweeted this out the other night. Eric Gordon last year shot 37% from three. He's a 37% career three-point shooter. He's shooting 27% from three.
Yeah.
I mean, these are guys that have track records of success in this league, and they're here right now, and it's not working. And a lot of it is
because Embiid's not on the court.
Yeah, they brought these guys in to play with Joel Embiid and Paul
Specifically
George,
to play with-
not to play by themselves.
Yep.
So what did you think were going to happen? Hey, we brought you in here to be complementary pieces to an MVP and a guy who we signed a max deal for, and Tyrese Maxey. Not to be the first, second, and third scoring option on the team. I mean, there's nights where Caleb Martin's out there, and you'd think that the guy is the top scorer on the team because of how many shots he's hoisted up there. No, they have a bunch of guys who are being asked to do more than what they signed for.
Yeah, we're at that point now where it's like you got to put up or shut up, and you got to try and get back in this thing because the math will not math in the next couple of games. All right, moving along. Nugget number 2. We got to switch gears to the Diamond, and I believe we have audio for this. Larry Boa had some interesting comments for the direction of the Phillies, and we've talked about it on this show and on the Nuggets multiple times. Here is Larry Boa regarding his comments on Dave Dombrowski and what the future of the Phillies are.
Dave Dombrowski, he wants to get a lineup in there where you have a few more guys in there that can put the ball in play, swing at strikes a little bit more often. If you take a look at our lineup, top to bottom, it's a tough lineup to get through. For some reason in the playoffs, I have no idea what's going on, but I know Dave wasn't too pleased at what happened. And our owner, John Middleton, he'll do anything in his power to get that trophy back here in Philly. So I expect us to make a few moves here during the winter, and they might shock some people. But I was sitting with Dave at the last out of the Met game, and he just kept shaking his head. He says, we got to do something different.
That last part, Mike, is very, very, very key. He sat next to Dombrowski at the end of that Met game, and he's shaking his head. We got to do something different. That's the quote right there. They're going to shake things up. Now, we know how long it takes for the the off season to get rolling in the hot stove. But the fact that he was shaking his head and said, we need to do something different shows me that I think we got to be ready for something massive coming in the next couple of weeks.
No surprise. I said it all last year. Team's not good enough. You didn't want to listen to me.
I know I didn't.
We all like this team. I like this team. There are a lot of great guys on this team. They're fun. They've given us a lot of fun rides. What? Not good enough. This team is not good enough. He finally saw what we saw or what I saw all season. Same team, strikes out too much, doesn't come up in big situations, too many outs, too many streaks, too many hot and cold streaks. So for the owner to say, we got to do something different, bravo. To finally hear them admit that, I'm glad to hear it. And that's why I'm not surprised we hear Alec Boehm's name, Nick Castellanos' name, and I would insert pretty much anybody else in there outside of Bryce Harper, probably Kyle Schwarber, and, I would think that Trey Turner has a no-trade clause, so you won't hear his name either. And I think everybody else outside of Wheeler and Nola are probably fair game.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, that's what they have to do, and they need guys that can put the ball in play. They need guys that are swinging strikes, like Boa had mentioned there. I mean, that's what they have to target. But I find it interesting as well, Mike, that there are reports out there of all the offers that Juan Soto has gotten, and the Phillies have not, all the rumors that have been swirling around, all the speculation, the Phillies have not offered Juan Soto a contract. I find that very peculiar at this point.
Yeah, I'm not all that
thank
surprised
Scott
here.
Boras for that.
Yeah, I think this is, hey, the early portion of this, it's like LeBron or whatever, where he bounces around, takes flights, and goes and meets with people. I wouldn't be thrown off by that, but I'm not surprised if they're not involved with Soto. I think the money on him is going to be astronomical. Now, yeah, can the Phillies find? But I think they need to do other things first. This whole thing seems like the whole Bohm thing. Bohm and Justin Crawford's name being mentioned for Garrett Crochet. Well, that's the first piece to go out and get like a Bregman or a Willie Adames. So I think they're all trying to set them things up. And if they can move out things, okay, Soto's still available. We did this. Now, like, I think if somebody was to take Castellanos off their hands, then maybe they could retarget and say, okay, they took Castellanos, we can go after Soto.
Yeah, I think if you can move Castellanos maybe for a bullpen arm, you could get something back for him, but his value is not great at this point. It's just not where you expect it to be or you want it to be when they signed him. So you probably could get an arm for him, maybe a bullpen piece, a prospect or two. You could move off Castellanos. Then maybe you try and swoop in for Soto. He put out that video today. He signed with a new brand or whatever, just teasing people that, he's making an announcement. I thought that was pretty funny, but I feel like the Phillies need to be in this at some point. And remember, in the past, we don't really know what the Phillies are up to, right? Like there's things we didn't expect from, Dombrowski while he's been here, moves he's made. Like we didn't see the Taijuan Walker signing coming. We didn't see, multiple other moves, Austin Hayes move at the deadline. So they kind of keep quiet. I wouldn't be shocked if they're in on Soto. Maybe it's just not being reported just yet.
I'm surprised you didn't bring up the Austin Hayes stuff that he spoke to The Athletic and said, hey, when I can't wait for the season to start, I'm going to show everybody that last year wasn't me. He said I got sick and I never recovered from that. So we'll be keeping our eye on what Austin Hayes brings to the table.
Will we be keeping? I don't know if I'll be keeping my eye on it. We'll see.
Well, if he's out there hitting 25 bombs and 280, I bet you are.
Maybe. We'll see what happens with Austin Hayes heading
I
in
can
next year.
see a July 28th edition of Knicks Nuggets, and you saying, they gave up Austin Hayes. They had him here.
No, there's no way I would ever go back on my Austin Hayes take. There's no way. That's a take that's locked in. Locked in, no doubt about it. I'll put flats back on that bet.
Oh, no, not this again. No, you can't do that with Austin Hayes.
Oh, wow. All
That's
right.
a winner.
Not worthy of a.
That would be a winner for me. That's a guaranteed. That's why Mike won't take it, because it'll be a guarantee.
Yeah.
Stone cold lock of the century.
Literally.
There you go.
All right, guys. That's a 2-pack of Nuggets for you today. I'll see you all tomorrow at Mudhen.
All right, there you go. Knicks Nuggets here, as always, on the Sports Bash Live, 97.3 ESPN. They're brought to you by our friends at Ocean Casino Resort in Atlantic City. Get your game on at the Fanatics Sportsbook at Ocean Casino Resort in Atlantic City. Some news, the Eagles have claimed defensive end Charles Harris off of waivers from the Panthers. A couple sacks this year, a guy that's been like an edge rusher type of player for a couple of years. So Charles Harris has signed with the Philadelphia Eagles. There you go. All right, Sports Bash coming up next. It is one thought every game. As Week 12 is now in the books, we have gotten to the Thanksgiving portion of our schedule. We will talk about them next with Casey Joyner here on the Sports Bash. We'll take a look at one thought every game, week number 12, a look back on it all with Casey Joyner from The Athletic right here on the Sports Bash Live at Chickies and Pete's Crab House and Sports Bar, the official sports bar of the Philadelphia Eagles. And don't forget, you got a big schedule of games this Sunday, Eagles-Ravens, 4:25, and you can listen to it on 97.3 ESPN.
This is South Jersey's official home for Philadelphia Eagles football. The Eagles continue the 2024 season this Sunday in Baltimore against the Ravens.
Here comes the rush. They've got him again.
Yeah, this offensive line cannot block the Eagles.
Pre-game coverage starts at 3 p.m. with Merrill Reese and Mike Quick calling all the action starting at 4:25. This is the play-by-play home of the Philadelphia Eagles. 97.3 ESPN, South Jersey's Eagles station.
Hey, AI, how many touchdowns did the Eagles score in the 2023 season?
The Eagles scored 49 touchdowns in the 2023 season.
Hey, AI, I had a fall recently and need to recover. Please make me walk again.
I'm sorry, that is beyond beyond my capabilities.
Hey, AI, my parents are getting older and I can't take care of them myself. Can you help care for them?
I'm sorry, that is beyond my capabilities. AI will never replace care. But here's what I found for the best care near you.
Autumn Lake Healthcare Centers, trusted leaders in skilled nursing rehabilitation and senior care, and proud partners of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay, things people love.
This holiday season, Straight Talk Wireless is letting you say yes a lot more with real unlimited data. Yes to sharing pics of the ugliest holiday sweaters. Yes to checking weather on the go for surprise sledding trips. And with a free phone at sign up, let the yes-tivities begin.
No way!
Yes way. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart or straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 1/5/25 while supplies last at participating stores. Taxes and fees apply. Requires in-store activation on select single line plans. Limit of 2 phones per customer. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
Looking for the perfect RV to hit the open road this fall? Look no further than Hitch RV, your premier RV dealer. They're offering unbeatable pricing during their fall reduction sale on a wide range of RVs, from cozy travel trailers to luxurious motorhomes. Hitch RV is dedicated to providing exceptional customer service and quality RVs. Visit them today at hitchrv.com/Berlin or call 856-629-7400. Hitch RV, your adventure awaits.
The holidays are picking up at the Home Depot, and so are the savings. Don't miss store-wide doorbuster deals starting Friday at 6 a.m. in-store only. Get top-of-your-list quality gifts at our lowest prices of the year, like a Ryobi 1+2 toolkit, only $79.88. Or go all out with festive decor, like the 2.5-foot LED elf Minion Stewart, a team player in any holiday display, for only $39.98. Don't miss doorbuster deals coming soon to the Home Depot. Starts November 29th while supplies last.
I juggle a lot. And managing constipation with belly pain from my irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, with laxatives and fiber isn't enough. My doctor recommended a way to get ahead of it. Then I said yes to Linzess. Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor and learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
The Bet365 Play of the Day. Join the Sports Bash with me, Mike Gill, every weekday afternoon at 5:45 on 97.3 ESPN. Made possible by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, you know to check that your seats aren't in the visitor section first, before buying tickets.
I'm so excited for this game. I can't believe you got us tickets.
Me too. Wait, are we on the wrong side?
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds.
This is going to be a long game.
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Lowe's knows that to win the job, pros need the best prices. That's why only at Lowe's, MVP's Pro Rewards members can get a volume discount on eligible orders as low as $1,500 at the Pro Desk. That means you get the prices you need to start any job, small or large. Because Lowe's knows pros. Valid in-store only. More terms and restrictions apply. Visit Lowe's.com/terms or Pro Desk for details.
With GMF financing to qualify buyers excludes Traverse and Corvette excludes prior sales.
Why wait
for Black Friday, when the biggest Black Friday sale is going on now all month long at Bennett Chevrolet, where you can save up to 20% and more on your new vehicle. Because Bennett is selling new vehicles at $1,000 below, yes, $1,000 below the real GM supplier employee price. Plus, you keep all the rebates, saving you up to 20%. But of course, there's more with available 0% financing. Looking for used? Bennett's giving a minimum $10,000. A minimum 10 grand for your trade, no matter its condition, towards any pre-owned in stock. Imagine what you'll get for a good trade if Bennett's paying a minimum 10 grand for total junk. Bennett's deals are unbeatable during our Black Friday sales event, and there's never any hassles or sales pressure because our non-commissioned sales staff is paid on your satisfaction, not how much you spend. The best Black Friday sales going on now at Bennett Chevy, Egg Harbor Township, and BennettChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
The official Eras Tour book coming to Target on November 29th, featuring over 500 photographs from the tour, including never-before-seen performance and behind-the-scenes images. And for the first time, the Tortured Poets Department, the Anthology, with 35 tracks on CD and vinyl.
Only at Target.
Cooper's our new neighbor down the shore.
Introducing Cooper University Hospital, Cape Regional.
Healthcare is going to improve in Cape May County.
We're excited to bring our award-winning care to our new neighbors in Cape May and Atlantic counties. You'll have greater access to top specialists, advanced technology, innovative treatments, and outstanding cancer care at MD Anderson Cancer Center at Cooper. Cooper University Healthcare. Together, we're doing something extraordinary for families down the shore.
Shop Dell Technologies Black Friday event for their lowest prices of the year. The future is on sale today with limited time deals on select PCs like the XPS 16 that accelerate AI with Intel Core Ultra processors. Black Friday is their biggest sale of the year and the best time to upgrade, but it's only here for a limited time. Shop now at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
A Gain Scent Bead story. Jim was at the laundromat when he heard his ear said Maraca, senor, but his nose said, hey, freshest scent ever. Following his nose, Jim found a man pouring a bottle of Gain Scent Beads into the washer. The scent, the freshness. Jim blurted, sir, your scent Maraca smell amazing. Actually, Jim, most noses call them Gain Scent Beads. Try Gain Scent Beads. Way fresher than detergent alone.
Hi, it's Pete from Chicky and Pete's. The holiday entertaining season is back, and there's no better place for holiday cheer than Chicky and Pete's with a nice cold beer. Book your holiday party right now. We have open bar specials and an unbeatable all-you-can-eat menu. It includes our world-famous crab fries, delectable Chicky's boneless wings, tasty tenders, and our piping hot traditional pizza. Or let us bring the holiday cheer to your place with an unforgettable visit from our Chicky and Pete's Crab Fry Express food truck. We've got you covered this holiday season at the official sports bar of the Philadelphia Eagles, Chickies and Pete's.
Home of the Sports Bash with Mike Gill, 97.3 ESPN.
Sounds great, guys.
WENJ, WENJ HD, Millville, Atlantic City. This is the Sports Bash with Mike Gill on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app. Now live from inside the Ocean Casino Resort studio, here's Mike Gill.
Final hour of the show, Sports Bash Live, Chickies and Pete's, Egg Harbor Township on a Tuesday night. Yeah, we're here early because of the holiday on Thursday. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there. We'll go one thought every game with Casey Joyner from The Athletic in just a second as we get you ready for week number 13 in the NFL. We hate this time of the year when you get to the holiday scheduling. That means we're getting down to the nitty-gritty here. Week 13 is on the way, but before we talk about Week 13, we'll go one thought every game on what we saw this week in Week number 12. The Eagles beat the Rams and some other interesting matchups, what they all mean for the playoff race. Casey Joyner is live on the Sports Bash on 97.3 ESPN, and he, as always, is brought to you by Cooper University Healthcare. We're doing something extraordinary for families down the shore. All right, let's get into some thoughts on the game. Casey Joyner, welcome, my man. And, of course, you're a historian of this game. You look at Saquon Barkley and what he did, 255 yards, over 300 total yards. the pantheon of that performance in games that you have watched in your career.
It's right up there with Walter Payton rushing for 275 in the flu game back in 1976. I mean, it's right up there with some of the top games in NFL history. And again, he did it against, remember, the Rams had a really good run defense. Coming into the game, they were 5th in fantasy points allowed on running plays, planned running plays over the past 4 weeks. So this is a really good run defense. And it's not like this is not like this the Cowboys where everybody's out of position. I think it's a solid defense. And for him to keep doing it as late as he did in the game, that was great. By the way, I took a look at it for my athletic article this week. It covers fantasy football, to see if Barkley has a chance to break the all-time record for PPR points in a PPR league for a running back. It's 481.1 by LT back in 2006. He's got an outside shot. He gets a couple more 40-point games like this, he could do it. If he's got to average like almost 36 a game or something like that, he could do it. So, I mean, we literally could be working at one of the greatest seasons in NFL history.
Okay, so when you put that in perspective, when you start to hear Saquon Barkley for MVP, is that just talk because he's the hot name right now, or is he legitimate?
He's legitimate. I've got a Pro Football Writers Association NFL MVP vote, and if he'd asked me a few weeks ago, I'd have been like, okay, hey, Saquon's going to be a top 10, we don't, but you get one vote, but still, if I were thinking where I'm going to rank them, I'd be like, okay, probably 5th or something of that nature. He's getting up there. I put him ahead of Hurts. As good as this team is, I mean, if you take Hurts out, it'd still be, it's close. But I think Barkley's more valuable to this offense because it's a run-centric offense. Mahomes has been the top guy all year. Okay, Mahomes isn't the top guy anymore. Allen, as great as he is, and he's done a lot for that offense, I think that you can make a case for Barkley just as right up there. And Lamar Jackson, again, as great as he is, that's a great offense too. I mean, I can make a case for him to be a top 4 guy right now, maybe a top 3, and depending on how it goes the rest of the season. Because if he keeps playing like he did on Sunday night, and any other quarterbacks start to struggle, I don't see how you don't give him that award.
Yeah, he's currently 425. That's when we last looked. Friday, he was plus 6,000. Yesterday, he was plus 600. He is now plus 425, and that's even after Lamar Jackson played last night. You're going to get Barkley against, obviously, Henry on Sunday. That's going to be a fun matchup. We'll get into that at another time. But let's take a look at the Eagles' defense. Losing Brandon Graham as the pass rusher. They got to the quarterback. They got to Stafford. Their secondary did a really good job. I know Nakua had over 100 yards. He had 8 catches from Cooper Kupp, but they did a really good job of not giving up the big play.
Yeah, they did. And, and Graham, I mean, they've got a lot of people. I mean, Graham's an important player, but I think they can, they can still do really well even without him. It stinks that he's gone, but, it can really do well without him. Vertical passing, Stafford. And that's the thing, is the Eagles were number 1 in the league in fantasy points allowed of vertical passes the past 4 weeks. They've been a shutdown vertical group. Stafford's got all of his weapons there, attempts 9 vertical passes, completes 5 for 97 yards, 10.8 yards per attempt, 1 touchdown. And those aren't fantastic numbers. When you're facing an offense of that caliber, okay, I can deal with those numbers, and I'll take it one step further. You look at stretch vertical passes. Those are passes throwing 20 or more yards downfield. So your go routes, your post routes, your corner routes. Stafford tries 2 of those. 2 attempts, 1 completion, 27 yards, 13.5 yards. It was one of the touchdown passes he had on those throws. But still, okay, and besides the touchdown pass, he tried one other stretch vertical pass and didn't complete it. So they said, hey, look, you can throw some vertical passes against it. You can get some chunk plays. You're not going to get the big plays like that. And when you can take away stretch vertical plays and just give team vertical plays, yeah, again, that's a pretty healthy recipe for a defense.
All right, Casey Joinder, we also have, the Eagles offense in the pass game here. A.J. Brown had a nice game, no Devontae Smith, but a lot of people wondering, this is why I want to bring you in. They're running the ball, not scoring a lot in the first half. Is this sustainable? Do they have enough in the pass game that if they got behind and had to kind of throw their way back into a game, this has been a run-first team, 39 rushes in their 9 wins, and that's good, and they got Barkley. But do they have enough in the pass game?
Here's the thing. Let's say they fall behind by a couple of touchdowns, and they start to put some pass formations out there, but Barkley's still out there as running back. You could still get 8, 9, 10 yards of Barkley on a decent blocking play. I mean, he's getting that many, good blocking yards per attempt. He's over 10 yards, so you could do this. And it's one of those things where, okay, you need chunk. If you fall down by 14, you just need chunk plays. Whether you get him in the ground game or whether you get in the pass, you can deal with it either way. So you could still get, your share of chunk plays from Barkley. You could still get them, and you can go vertical passing. By the way, the Rams are pretty good against vertical passing too, and the Eagles didn't decide to throw that much. Hurts is still 4-6, 71 yards, 11.8 yards per attempt. It's still really, solid numbers, especially with not having Smith out there. And by the way, though, Smith has some really good matchups. I just traded for him in a fantasy league. He's got some really good matchups coming up. If he's healthy for the rest of the season, he's got like 3 green-rated cornerback matchups. He'll have some big games in front of him. So I think they'll still be able to get that counter-punching vertical passing going.
All right, Casey Joyner, one thought every game here in just a second. Eagles beat the Rams. They improved to 9-2. Here's the question I have for you then. Is Philadelphia closer to Detroit at 1 or Minnesota, Green Bay as team 3 and 4?
They'll go closer to 1 because of the defense, because of the way it's been playing. If I look at Minnesota and I look at Green Bay and say, okay, how do they match up against Detroit? Detroit could. I don't think they will. I mean, they've got a shot at posting close to 600, but there's only like 29 offenses in NFL history that posted 500 or more points. Detroit ought to get there unless they just have a terrible rest of the season. They should get there. They might get to 600. I don't think it'll happen, but it's possible because they're that good. If you've got that, you've got to have a defense to be able to go against them. And the one defense in the NFC, I think they could slow the Lions offense down and stay with them. I think is the Eagles. I mean, the Lions defense is playing really well too, but I think the Eagles defense is the only defense that could do it. I don't look at the other teams. I mean, as good as Brian Flores is, I still see Lions Vikings game getting into something of a shootout, and the Vikings offense is what it is, but it's not good at keeping up. I don't think they keep up the Lions in the shootout. And I think the Eagles actually could, if they had to face the Lions in the shootout, they could do it because they got the offense to do it. And if they had to go up in the defensive slugfest, I think I could do that too. So I'm taking the Eagles I still think Lions are the best team in the NFC, but the Eagles, they're 1A, and then everybody else is that step behind.
All right, we'll get into one thought every game. By the way, Casey Joyner will be back tomorrow. We'll do one thought every game on the Thanksgiving games and the Sunday slate. So we'll do that on tomorrow's show since we are off on Thursday. But let's get into one thought every game on everything that we saw this week. Sam Darnold, we just talked about the aforementioned Vikings, a game-winning overtime drive as they beat the Bears 30-27. They blew a lead. This was a fun game back and forth. But Darnold and the Vikings, are people sleeping on them?
A bit, because they have that whole vision of what Darnold was. When you look at Darnold, I'm going to go historical again. He's Jim Plunkett. He's a guy who got plenty of talent, and he went on teams that just weren't good fits for him. And he gets to a team that knows how to utilize his talents and says, we're just going to let you be what you are. You don't have to be the savior. Just be a good quarterback. Look what happens. So, yeah, I mean, it's a team that does well. But the thing that bothers me about the Vikings here, like you said, they allow the big comeback and things. The Flores defenses, man, when they're on, they can just destroy people. But when you get adjusted to what they're doing and then you can match them up personnel-wise, things change, and that's what the Bears did late. And the Vikings, they've got some issues if you try and go personnel against them, and the Bears are able to do that.
All right, one thought every game. The Lions, of course, they win 24-6, 9 wins in a row. They score 3 rushing touchdowns and very good defense to really confuse Anthony Richardson and the Colts.
They did, and Richardson regressed to what he is. He still needs a lot of work in the passing game. And the Lions can run the ball. And one of the things the coach will tell you, if you can run the ball, you can absorb injuries. They took a couple of them this past week. They've got injuries. I think an offensive lineman, they lost a linebacker. They've got some, punt returner. They've got some injuries, but if you can run the ball well, you can win. And the thing is, I think, that's the sort of thing you can win the Thursday game, and then you have those 10 days off, and you could be healthy down the stretch, because that's one thing you can say about most of the teams in the league. Top teams, they're healthy, and the Lions have been one of them, and they need to, the running game will help them stay that way.
One thought every game. Let's go to Miami. Tua, 4 touchdowns, 3rd straight win, 35-15. This was never close, but the Dolphins are knocking on the wild card door.
He throws for 317 yards and 4 touchdowns, and Tyreek Hill has 5 catches for 48 yards and no touchdowns. Like, holy Toledo, this offense is that good, and Tyreek is still not back. Smith is fantastic. He's available in like 46% of ESPN leagues. If you know John Smith on your team, get him right now, just in case. He's got 20-plus points in 3 of the past 6 games. A great ad. Waddle getting him going, because he had been terrible too. 8 for 144 and a touchdown. I mean, they've got those 3 going. If they can get Hill going and get their ground game going, because they didn't really need it, but they can keep their ground game going and get Achane and Wright most, or really Achane, but they can get the other 2 in there to make a lead alternate. This is an offense that gives up 40 points per game. It's a day. I don't want to see, if I'm any other team in the AFC, as long as Tues is healthy, I don't want to see this team down the stretch.
One thought every game. Yeah, but can they get to the playoffs? That's the
Yeah.
big story there. I'll tell you what, Tues should be in MVP consideration for the difference in that team.
Yes.
Seriously,
Yeah.
they're the worst team you ever saw when he doesn't play. All right, one thought every game. Baker Mayfield mocking Tommy DeVito's celebration. Well, it was warranted. The Giants lose 30-7 at home.
Yeah, I get the nickname and Tommy Cutlass and all that. I get why he's a cult hero, but it's like, look, guys, he's not very good. I mean, he showed it in this game. And mind you, this is a terrible Bucks defense. DeVito does nothing. And mind you, again, the Bucks still against good teams, they're going to get into shootouts, but the Giants are just that bad. The thing is, the Giants. You get to zone a towel in week 12. I mean, most teams want to get the cars warmed up in week 17 or 18. You're doing it in week 12. That's pretty bad. If they don't, the Giants could. I think they possibly could get embarrassed. We'll talk about it tomorrow. But I think they could get embarrassed because if this team doesn't show more effort than they did in that game, they may collapse down the stretch. And that's saying something about how bad they already play.
One thought every game. This was a chaotic, crazy game. I don't even know how you kind of picked this one up, but Dallas and Washington, the Commanders get a wild finish to look like they're going to win the game. Then they mix the extra point. Then they kick an onside kick. Dallas takes it back. You're thinking, what are you doing? But Dallas wins against Washington. Third straight loss for the Commanders.
Yeah, the Commanders, 3 turnovers. They're good, but they're not a team that can do quite that. Daniel's playing better, but once he got hurt, he wasn't quite as good as he had been. And again, remember the running game. Robinson didn't do much, and in fact, Robinson and Eckler are both banged up. They don't know if they're going to play this week. Maybe starting Jeremy McNichols, so they've got some issues. But I got to give Dallas credit because look, is Mike McCarthy get fired? I mean, now it's like maybe we'll give him an extension. Don't know, but if they keep playing with the effort level that they did, McCarthy could keep his job if Jerry is so inclined. Because I mean, that was a team that the Cowboys have every reason to throw in the towel like the Giants did, and they just haven't done it because they're going nowhere. It doesn't matter; they should not going anywhere. But I got to give the Cowboys a ton of credit for as much mox as they showed, and again, against the division foe on the road, that's a solid effort.
By the way, the Commanders put the kicker on the injured list after 2 missed point after attempts.
Yeah, he was questionable. He had been banged up. Cyber had been banged up for a couple weeks before that. So it's like, okay, you got to get healthy kicker too.
All right, one thought every game. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, they win at a last-second kick again, 30-27. This is the Panthers, though. Do the Chiefs have an Eagles 2023 feel about them?
Yeah, the Chiefs have a look. I mean, again, hey. Oh, boy, I don't want to go 72 Dolphins, but they haven't played the toughest schedule. They're barely winning, and they're finding ways to do it. I mean, you're getting Noah Gray to catch a couple touchdown passes 2 games in a row. I don't think that's sustainable for him. He's not quite as much of a draw as John Smith in fantasy, but he's, they for them to do what they're doing is great, but I got to give the Panthers credit for Bryce Young. I mean, okay. You go back 4 or 5 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago, you're like, okay, this guy's done. I mean, they're gonna, maybe they trade him, maybe they, waive him. Who knows? I mean, he's just terrible. And now it's like, all right, well, maybe you might have a little building block here that if you put a good team around him, maybe he could do something. So, got to give the Panthers a lot of credit. But the Chiefs, you can't let the Panthers team should not be keeping up with you. And maybe it says again, the Chiefs are not anywhere near as good as 10-1 says.
All right, one thought every game. Let's go. Will Levis, 2 touchdown passes. The Titans knock off the Texans on the road, 37-27. Another crazy game here. Bad loss for the Texans.
Bad loss for the Texans. The thing is, the Titans defense, it's had some bad games this year. Don't get me wrong. We start looking at advanced metrics like, okay, they cover fairly well. They stopped the run at times. They're doing a number of things. It's a disciplined defense. And the Texans, 4.8 yards per play. That's not a terrible number, but I mean, this is Houston. It's a Nico Collins. This is Joe Mixon. This is C.J. Stroud. This is Tank Dell. This is some pretty good players, and they're not doing very well. And it's a problem for them. They had 2 turnovers too. So, but Tennessee, I mean, Levis, I'm still not sold on him as a long-term quarterback, but they were able to get the most out of everybody. And they played a Okonkwo and Ridley catching some passes. I mean, Tennessee's getting the most out of his talent. Callahan. He's again, he learned under that Cincinnati system, and they're not there yet because Levis is Joe Burrow, but you can see some of the hallmarks of that Bengals system there.
All right, one thought every game. Bo Nix sets the Broncos rookie touchdown record. Is he for real? As the Broncos knock off the Raiders 29-19, Denver gets to their 7th win of the season.
Bo Nick's a top 10 quarterback right now. If you ask me right now, today, again, he's probably 10, maybe 9, something of that nature, but he's top 10 quarterback. I define anybody to say there are 10. I don't mean talent-wise, I mean how they're playing right now or the past 3 or 4 weeks, how they've been playing right now. And he's been playing that way for more than 3 or 4 weeks. He's been doing it for a while. So he's a very good quarterback. Sutton's catching 2 passes, but Devon, Valet, Mims, Franklin, and they've got nobody at receiver, and he's still getting a really good passer rating and all that, and he can run the ball too. So you got to give him credit for that. And again, this is against the Raiders team. Minshew gets knocked out. They had to put Ritter out there and have anybody at running back. I mean, the Raiders, they might be the worst team in football right now. If they're not in the bottom 3, and the Broncos, hey, that's a game you're supposed to win when you outclass the team by that much, and they do. And they hadn't been beating the Raiders in recent years.
One thought every game, Josh Jacobs, all the free agent running backs proving their worth this week. 3 touchdowns for the Packers. They get past this banged-up Niners team 38-10. Niners, man, is it put a fork in this team? Are they done, or can they regroup?
McCaffrey had the Madden curse. I was just at Costco a couple of days ago. They have like 100 old Madden games sitting up in the corner. They have little things you can get one thing. So he didn't sell that many games either. It doesn't look like, but he's doing terrible. He doesn't look like what he was. He looks like a good back, but not much more. Allen's, obviously, a big drop off at quarterback and things. They're banged up, but they're not playing well. And you start looking at their defense too, and look at some of the plays that they had against them. The Packers are really creative, and you got to play disciplined defense. And you see in the Niners going and chasing, biting on fakes, doing things they ought not do. It's like, okay, that's not a very disciplined defense either. So remember, they've made some changes, some coaching changes there too. So it's one of those things where, I think that I don't think it's just banged up. I think that the Niners have a number of issues, but it also does show when McCaffrey was what he was, that team is one thing. When McCaffrey is what he is now, it's another. Maybe they need to go back to Mason.
One thought every game, Kobe Bryant, pick 6, big day. The Seahawks defense, 16-6 win over the Cardinals. They are now in first place in the NFC West.
Michigan, the University of Michigan football team is falling apart. I mean, they're going to get destroyed this week, and they'll make a bowl game, thankfully, beating Northwestern. But I'm pointed out because McDonald was on their team. He's coach for them, and that's how good they were. Remember how great they were. He and Jesse Minter were both in coaching for them, and that's the kind of defense he can bring to a team. He's got that when his defense plays that well. And this is the formula that they were hoping to get. We get the kind of defense that can just shut people down. Now, the ground game for them is still not going that well, but this is the kind of team they expected to have to be able to say, we don't have a defense that we need to bail out with 30-point games. And the Cardinals, hey, look, they didn't have any running game, and Kyler Murray still cannot throw vertical on a consistent basis. And unless and until that changes, there's a ceiling for that Cardinals team where, maybe they make the playoffs. That's about as far as they're going to go, because if you can't throw vertical in this league, you're never going to win the playoffs.
One thought every game as we wrap it up with last night's Monday Night Football game. It's Lamar Jackson, 3 touchdowns. John Harbaugh, 3-0 against his brother as the Ravens beat the Chargers. Chargers pretenders, or we think that it was just a bad night?
I think that the Chargers defense, and Belichick was pointing it out last night, that they don't like to play base defense very much. On the Manning cast, Belichick said that they don't like to play base defense. He said they play base defense about 10% of the time, what their standard base defense is, because they can go for adjustments and things against other teams. When you're playing against the Ravens are going to make you play base defense. You're going to have to do it. You're going to have to run correctly off of it. You're going to have to do all the other things correctly off it, and that's not their bread and butter. They're not used to playing that sort of a team. And I think that they'll get there because, look, Harbaugh's going to play that kind of offense, and the league is turning more to some ground game stuff to more of that kind of approach and things. But for the moment, they're not there. And so schematically, it was a bad fit. And the Ravens, and again, they're a team that's really tough to game plan for. And when Derrick Henry can bust out 24 rushes or 140 yards, when he can do that and you can't slow him down enough, then they're playing their style of game, and that's why they win.
All right, Casey Joyner from The Athletic is back tomorrow for One Thought every game on Week 13. We'll look at the 3 big games on Thanksgiving. A lot of them have some interesting meaning. You got that Lions-Bears game. Can the Lions continue to hold on the number 1 seed in the NFC? The middle game, no meaning whatsoever, Dallas and the Giants. But the nightcap, does Miami stay in the wild card mix? Can the Packers keep the pressure on the Lions in the North? We'll get into that and all the Week 13 action. That's tomorrow, One Thought every game. Casey Joyner from The Athletic, and he joins us here on the Sports Bash. All right, Casey Joyner, I got bad lighting in here. You probably look like a ghost, but we're having a good time. We appreciate it as always, man.
Sounds good. Appreciate it.
All right, we'll be on the road again tomorrow as well. We'll be at Mud Hen Brewing Company in Wildwood. Hopefully better lighting for me in there. Got to figure something out.
Yeah. Better lighting.
Sports Pass Live, 97.3 ESPN. We'll be at the Station House tomorrow, and they have a great spot for your private party or event. Station House is ideal for both intimate gatherings or larger celebrations. Book your wedding or private event. Visit mudhenbrew.com for more information. We'll be at the Station House at Mud Hen Brew tomorrow. This place, really cool. Can't wait to get down there and check it out. But we still have time for you to check us out here at Chickies and Pete's in Egg Harbor Township, where we were just talking about the crowds for the games. Now, I don't think they're open on Thursday. I didn't ask. I didn't even think to ask. I'm imagining they're not. That's why we're here on Tuesday. But Sunday, the Eagles play 4:25 against the Ravens. And manager was telling me, make sure if you want to come watch the game on Sunday that you get here a little early because this place is going to fill up for Eagles and Ravens. Biggest game of the Eagles schedule, and you can watch it right here at the official sports bar of the Philadelphia Eagles. Casey Joyner, he was brought to you by Cooper University Hospital. They are doing something extraordinary for families down the shore. I got my Bet365 play of the day coming up still. But when we come back, it's today's edition of the Big Three. That's next. This is the Sports Bash on 97.3 ESPN.
You're listening to the Sports Bash with Mike Gill.
When I'm driving, I got a guy on the radio who talks to me. I can't see him, but he talks to me.
On 97.3 ESPN.
Tired of hearing no? Everywhere you go, we turn no into go during Black Nissan's November sales event. Say no to high-priced new cars. Brand new matte black Nissan Sentra S, just $19,999. Say no to low trade offers. AJ the Trade Man wants your trade, no matter the make, miles, or condition. Say no to down payments. Say no to payments for 90 days. And say no to high interest rates. 60 months, 0% financing by every clearly marked new Nissan. Backed by Matt Blatt's 4-day love it or leave it return policy. Tired of hearing no to a discount on a new ride? New 25 Sentra S, under 20 grand.
Oh yeah, it's on at Matt Blatt Nissan.
Approved Tier 1 credit for Lima. Negative equity financing. VIN number SY231649. MSRP 22,730 plus tax tag at $689.98. Offers can't be combined 0% for 60 months. Call 877-289-6667 or go to MattBlattNissan.com for complete details. Offer ends 12/5/24. It's on at Matt Blatt Nissan on the Black Horse Pike. Egg Harbor Township.
This holiday season, Straight Talk Wireless is letting you say yes a lot more with real unlimited data. Yes to sharing pics of the ugliest holiday sweaters. Yes to checking weather on the go for surprise sledding trips. And with a free phone at sign up, let the yes-tivities begin.
No way!
Yes way. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart or straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 1/5/25 while supplies last at participating stores. Taxes and fees apply. Requires in-store activation on select single-line plans. Limit of 2 phones per customer. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check that your seats aren't in the visitor section first, before buying tickets.
I'm so excited for this game. I can't believe you got us tickets.
Me too. Wait, are we on the wrong side?
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds.
This is going to be a long game.
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Is your home ready for the season? Worried about rooms that just won't stay warm this winter? Call Jenkins Plumbing and Heating today to ask about a new energy-efficient system from American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning or a Mitsubishi Douglas system. With generous financing options through South Jersey Gas or Atlantic City Electric, plus additional savings through rebates from your local utility companies. Upgrading your system could also help lower your utility bills. Call Jenkins today or visit jenkinsandsons.com.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying. Just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay. things people love.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. An important message about your timeshare from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. Contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about timeshare cancellation.
Call 800-611-7272. 800-611-7272.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
Chris Coleman here. It's the Black Friday sales event at Kindle, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, with up to $4,000 total cash allowance towards select 2024 Chrysler Pacifica gas models. Need a truck for work or play? Get $4,000 retail consumer cash allowance on most 2025 Ram 1500 models. Financing through Stellantis Financial ends 12/2/24. See Kindle for details. Check out their huge 100-acre lot just off exit 10 of the Parkway on Stone Harbor Boulevard, and check out KindleDodge.net.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? So you've got an oil change coming up. You can go farther and save on full synthetic with our oil change special. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Valvoline Advanced Full Synthetic with an STP Extended Life oil filter for just $33.99. Get the parts you need when you need them at AutoZone or AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
This is the Town Square, New Jersey Info and Weather Network.
Progressive Insurance presents the Sports Flash on 97.3 ESPN. NHL, the Flyers back on the ice Wednesday night out in Nashville, where they'll take on the Predators. This will be a one-game trip for the Flyers. They lose Monday night in a shootout 5-4 to the Vegas Golden Knights, who got the game winner from Jack Eichel. Philadelphia has now lost 3 of their last 4. Monday, they blew an early 3-0 lead. The Sixers will play the Houston Rockets on Wednesday, wrapping up a 3-game homestand. Philadelphia has lost 6 of their last 7 after falling Sunday at home to the LA Clippers, a game they played without Joel Embiid and Paul George, both out with injuries, and both are game-time decisions for Wednesday night's contest against Houston. The Eagles will be in Baltimore Sunday, Week 13 in the NFL. They'll take on the Ravens, a game that features the top 2 running backs in the NFL, in Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry. The Eagles have won 7 straight, 9-2 on top of the NFC East, while the Ravens are coming off Monday night's win against the Chargers. They're 8-4. I'm Tony Desiri, and that's your Sports Flash on 97.3 ESPN.
Here is an important safety message from the New Jersey Division of Highway Traffic Safety.
I'm New Jersey Attorney General Matt Platkin. Last year, there were 133 alcohol-impaired driving fatalities in New Jersey. That's 133 lives lost, 133 shattered families. Choose responsibility over recklessness. Don't drive impaired.
From the Town Square, New Jersey Info and Weather Network, I'm Chief Meteorologist Dan Zarrow. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving Eve, huge getaway day, and the weather will cooperate. It'll be cool, but dry and fair. Mainly clear skies tonight, calm winds, cold temperatures, low around 37. Tomorrow we cool down to 51 with sunny clouds and dry weather, but Thanksgiving Thursday, a different story. Periods of rain throughout the day. It'll be cloudy and pretty cool, high of 55. Get weather 24/7 wherever you are. Download our free mobile app today.
You're a winner when you play Borgata's Winning Wonderland. Now through December 28th, earn entries for your stake in over $1 million in prizes, including 2 2025 Range Rovers. Visit theborgata.com. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
It's the Sports Bash with Mike Gill.
And I am the voice of the voiceless.
On 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app.
All right, Sports Bash Live, 97.3 ESPN, the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app. So we opened up the show today with a table of 4 and a table of 2, and now we're ending it with a table of 9 right here.
With some crab fries getting delivered.
I can smell them.
Wow.
That's my guy Joey Gaynor back there, leading the crew.
Got some Guinness flowing over there.
Yeah, got some. Now they're really rubbing it in, drinking beers. What's going on here? I figured you could at least have some water while I was working. At least wait till I got off. Now he's got a little. What do you got there? What do you got there, Gaynor? Nice little hazy IPA, it looks like.
It sure does.
All right, let's get into today's Big Three.
Sorry, I was more interested in what the people were drinking in front of you. So.
Yeah, me too. At this stage, hey, the Wednesday tomorrow before Thanksgiving, we're at 99 bottles. By this time tomorrow, actually right at this time tomorrow, the first bottle will be selected.
I was going to say, if I been saying at this time tomorrow, you will be completely distracted.
I do get a little distracted because I'm trying to watch to see who wins what tickets. But
I know because of the beer.
Well, and tomorrow the beer will be flowing, I'm sure, because it's Wednesday before Thanksgiving. People are, normally too, 99 people qualify. Sadly, not all 99 of those people show up, which I don't understand. Why would you qualify, then not show up? But
it's the adrenaline of just winning something.
Yeah. Well, you won nothing.
Right. Yeah, you won nothing because you
won
didn't show
nothing,
up.
just a spot.
Yeah. So I am kind of watching to see what's going on. Now, Earnshaw, I think tomorrow Earnshaw is going to be hosting the 99 Growlers portion of the event.
Oh, he's going to own that.
Yeah, I normally...
You ever see him give that speeches at the college?
No.
I mean, he just takes over the room like he owns that podium.
No, I know he's going to do a good job, but I can't do it because I'm
radio.
actually live on the air. So generally, whoever's hosting with me that day. Now, normally when I'm out on location, someone normally does the show with me. So tomorrow, Earnshaw will be there, Rothstein will be there, Pete G will be there, but I have elected Earnshaw to be the host of the 99 Growlers.
Is that because you don't believe Pete can do it as well as Nick can?
Pete's more important doing nothing over here.
Wow. With that note, let's move on to the big three.
One-liners.
Let's move on to the big three here. That was a mic drop enough. So Nick Earnshaw, speaking of Nick's Nuggets,
Earnshaw is the one guy I can trust to tell him what to do, and I know it's getting done.
Yeah, you cannot trust me.
No. No, I cannot.
Oh, my goodness.
Earnshaw
I'm going to leave that one alone.
Earnshaw is, of the people who were there, Josh will not be there because Josh is the only person I trust on the other side of the event.
That might be the nicest thing you ever said about me, Mike.
Well, I mean, everybody says, "Where's Josh? How come he's never out here?" I said, because if he was here, we wouldn't be on the radio.
I'm just saying, it's a nice compliment by you. I appreciate it.
It's true.
Unless Danny Ryan was available, but Danny Ryan's like MIA.
Danny's too busy living his best life, bro.
It's Thanksgiving. He actually said he's going to be in West Virginia this weekend, so I can't fault him for that.
That's the real reason why it's okay, because it's West Virginia.
Yeah, if he told me he was going to hang out with family in New Jersey, I'd say, no, get your ass down here.
Well, speaking of that Nick Earnshaw, Sam Amick. Yes, Sam Amick had this report. He mentioned it an hour ago. We want to actually play the audio. The Athletics NBA writer Sam Amick was on Mike Gill's new favorite show, that FanDuel TV show with Michelle Beadle.
By the way, I
found
FanDuel TV last night.
You discovered it.
I did. And the DraftKings network.
There you go.
So I have YouTube TV, and there's a section on there of free channels. And
right.
If you go to sports, it's in that area. So I was watching last night FanDuel TV. I saw the Michelle Beadle. They must replay it like all day long.
Yeah, the FanDuel and DraftKings, they like replay the shows from earlier in the day at night.
Yeah, because DraftKings Network had the Dan Le Batard show on.
Correct.
So I did find them on my YouTube TV last
So
night.
now the question is, does watching some FanDuel TV and DraftKings Network subvert some of your other sports TV watching at night?
I don't know.
Sounds like a no. All right. Anyway.
It's possible.
Sam Amick said this about the 76ers and Joel Embiid. Take a listen.
I had asked essentially, was there any regret about doing the extension, right? And also, did you know at that time? And the answers I got were yes, we knew, and that there was a confidence level and their ability to manage it going forward. But they'll acknowledge that to keep it with the Vegas odds mentality, the odds are okay. They're not great, and they felt good enough about it to do that deal. But they certainly can't guarantee that he's going to be okay.
I don't understand how that. I don't understand how that could be possible. The team understood. I'm telling you, in my mind, I don't know anything on this. I can't believe that they thought that this was how this was going to go. That this guy played on Wednesday night of last week, and he is now not ready to play tomorrow night. 1 full week? So you telling me they signed him to a $193 million extension with the thought that he might have to sit out a week at a time? No way. That's Mike Mularkey calling that dude up and telling him, hey, yeah, we understood that this was going to be a problem. There's no way that they thought he couldn't play a week after he played.
Maybe they didn't know he couldn't play a week or two at a time, but maybe they were aware of the knee inflammation. Is that possible?
Sure, I totally understand that they think that he has this knee inflammation. He has no meniscus. He's going to have – I have the meniscus problem, okay? Some days my knee is swollen as heck. There's days if I run up and down a basketball – now I'm 47 years old, but if I run up and down the court, sometimes it's fine. And then there's other times I run up and down the court and I can't take 2 steps because it hurts so bad. It's just weird how whatever day, because I hurt my meniscus. Now, I have my meniscus. I didn't get my meniscus repaired, so I never got the injury fixed. So my knee is constantly swollen. He got his repaired twice to the point he doesn't even have a meniscus anymore. So I don't know what that feels like, but I can't imagine they thought he'd be sitting out for a week at a time.
No, there's definitely no way they thought he would be out a week at a time. I just would like to know, how does that conversation go? Like, you know, Mike, let's play this out, okay? Let's say you're Daryl Morey, okay? And I'm Joel Embiid's representation.
By the way, a buddy of mine got a picture of me and side-by-sided it with Daryl Morey. He said that he believes I look like Daryl Morey. Did you agree?
I do agree. Well, those 2 pictures that he sent.
The lighting.
You believe it's the lighting?
Well, the lighting in the background is the same.
Lighting helps a lot. You learn a lot about lighting.
Yeah.
In these pictures.
Now, you guys were double agents, right? You were the one who signed Embiid to that extension.
Right. So I was playing in – remember, Josh, I was playing with Deshaun in the basketball league?
Yes.
So
that 1 year.
Yeah, I played with him in the men's league. So he tells me, hey, we need you to play, on the men's league team because I can shoot, All right, I'll play. He doesn't tell me that there's like 25-year-old kids out there pressing. Now, at the time, this was like COVID. It was like right around 2020, I guess, because the league got shut down because of COVID. So I'm out there. I'm draining some threes, but.
Draining some threes?
Yeah, I could shoot. Put me out in the court. I'm not going to move all that much. I'll get in my corner, get me the ball, I'll shoot it, and I'll hit a 3.
Right, he runs to a spot, he sets up, and he's good to go.
Yeah, so I'm hitting a bunch of threes, and Deshaun says, we need you to play more minutes. I said, bro, I'm like 43 years old at the time.
Can't do it.
I said, you brought me into a league where there's 20-year-old guys pressing me. You want me to play more minutes? You're lucky I'm giving you 3. And that's when I hurt my knee.
That sounds like a Deshaun conversation, too. This totally sounds like him.
Yeah,
you're still paying for it.
Deshaun trying to talk me into playing more minutes.
He's trying to coach you up. Mm-hmm. And you're like, bro, I'm not here to be coached up. I'm here to shoot these threes.
I'm here to do one thing, shoot the 3.
But back to Embiid. So, Mike, how do you think that conversation goes then? How does that conversation go where they realize that he has inflammation in the knee and they still give him the money? Like, how do you think that dialogue changed from September to now?
I don't. This whole thing is bizarre. I'm telling you, I think that he is upset about what happened, and this is the result.
So he's just being sore about something that is actually out of his
I wouldn't
control.
be surprised if Embiid was like, until I find out, I'm not playing.
Good grief.
I wouldn't put it past this whole situation.
That's incredibly petty.
I mean, I would not put it
The
past
night that he scored 35, like a week ago, he played 35 minutes. He scored 35 points. Now he can't play. He looked like he would rather be anywhere else but on that court. Like, he looked like he had no desire to be there. And by the way, that's what the rest of the team looks like. They all look like they have no desire, except for Maxey and McCain. They have a little joy in their game, but Embiid looked like he had no desire to be there. And I'm telling you, I would not be shocked, and no one has told me this. I have no inside information on this. I would not be shocked if he says, I'm not playing until I find out who said that.
Well, speaking of guys.
Because there's no way that this has gone on as long and as ridiculous as it is. This is a total mess for this organization.
At what point do you just say, you know what? Let's just shut you down, man.
Well, that's
we're 3
going to
and
be
13.
That's going to be.
We're 5 and 21.
The hard part with that is George is going to be healthy. So you can't just have Paul George out there playing by himself, because now they're going to be a team that's going to win 25 games, maybe 30 games. You know, they're not with Paul George and Maxey, like, they're going to be okay. So the shutting down of Embiid is counterproductive.
But what if he needs surgery?
Well,
You
yeah.
shut him down
I mean,
like
if
that.
he's legitimately injured and he has to get surgery, that's a different story.
If you want to have a long-term relationship with him past this season, or are we at the point where the rubber's going to meet the road and this is it?
I will say this. If he is, in fact, not playing because he's taking a stand, at that point, I think the organization would then say, now we have to move him. Like, I don't think they want to move him. I don't think, and listen, I hope that I'm wrong about this. I hope that maybe he's just going through some soreness and they're just being extra cautious. I find it bizarre that he can't play a week later. If that's the case, this whole thing was so poorly handled that then people have to lose jobs about how poorly handled this was.
It's definitely been poorly handled, to say the least. Mike, topic number 2 for the big 3. Speaking of people who may or may not be here in the future, you guys talked about a little bit with Knicks Nuggets earlier in the show. Well, also on MLB Network was John P. Morosi talking about the Phillies' pursuit of 2 players and the future, potentially, of Alec Bohm.
They're interested in pursuing Willy Adames or Alex Bregman. And what this says to me is that Alec Bohm is available on the trade market. Now, there have been a lot of other conversations about other pieces they could potentially move. Nick Castellanos' name has come up. I had somebody mention to me Ranger Suarez as well. When they're pursuing Adames and Bregman directly, that is telling me that Alec Bohm is available, which certainly concurs with a lot of things I've been hearing in recent days. So don't be surprised, my friends, if when we are at the winter meetings in a couple weeks' time, we hear of a trade involving Alec Bohm.
All right, well, yeah, we've heard Alec Bohm's name a lot, and it's not a surprise. I think the organization has kind of soured on him a little bit. His immaturity, I think, is coming into play here. And quite frankly, he's a third baseman who the power hasn't developed for him. I thought he could be a 22 to 25 homer guy. He's been more in the 15 to 18 range. He has driven in, almost 100 runs the last couple of years, but if you're trying to find ways creatively to change this team, he's a young player that has a controllable deal. Other teams would have some interest in him. So he's a guy that you can move to try to get better. The other guy is Castellanos. I don't know that Castellanos, in fact, my intuition would say he has no value on the market for anybody that's going to help your team at this stage. He makes too much money. And, he had a good year last year. He didn't have a great year. People are acting like Castellanos, this, that. He was a good player. I mean, is anybody all that excited about Nick Castellanos returning?
No.
That get your juices flowing? I mean,
Nope.
if you like Nick Castellanos coming back, you and I have different interests. I mean, I'm not excited about Nick Castellanos coming back. I'd trade him at the drop of a hat if I could. Now, what am I getting for him? I hope I get something that is that's the problem. I don't even have an answer. I just don't think he has any value. Who wants Nick Castellanos?
I think that's the biggest problem of all this. You could talk about trading a player, but then you got to actually find a place for him to go.
Well, not only you have to find a place for him, you have to find someone that says, we want him, and we want to give you something to get him. They might say, we'll take Nick Castellanos, but you need to pay his salary. That's the kind of deal they have to try to find. A team that wants to pay, that want you to pay his salary and is willing to give a high-priced player back to you that does something that you don't have. So maybe a bullpen arm, something to that effect. But you're trading a guy who hit 250 with a 311 on-base percentage. And by the way, 23 home runs, that's nothing exciting there. And, so you got an average player that you're trying to give away for, does he make $20 million a year?
$20 million a year. He has $40 million left. 2 more 20s.
Yeah, 2 for 20 for a guy last year at 23 home. And by the way, is now a year older. So does 23 go to 18? Does 254 and a 311 on base, does that drop to 240? with a 300 on base. I mean, I know he had a great second half and he turned it around. He was miserable the first half of the year. So bravo to him for having a great second half. If you trust Castellanos and you think the Phillies want to keep him around, that ain't the case. If someone calls him and says, hey, we'll give someone something for Castellanos, he's out of here.
Going back to Bohm, how good of a player, I mean, I know he's proven on this team, but how good of a player is he without Harper in the lineup, without Schwarber in the lineup, without some of these Real Muto? I mean, if he goes to another squad without these guys in the lineup, how good of a player is he?
That's an interesting question because the year before when Harper was out and they moved him to the 3-hole, that's when he kind of started to get going a little bit when they moved him into the 3-hole when Harper was hurt. So that's a fair question. I don't know how good he is with
not being the
with those
Bryce
guys
Harper
not around him, right? Yeah.
Guys, really quick before we get out of here, I did want to get to some audio from my favorite podcast, the Green Light Pod. We don't have time to get to the audio, all of the audio I want to, but I did want to get your reaction, Mike, because they were talking on the pod about the difference between last year's Eagles and this year's Eagles, because that's been a topic for a lot of people. So Chris Long was talking about for him, what is the main difference between last year, 2023, and 2024's version of the Birds?
Brought me this war horse from New York, from in the division, and he just galloped in, and now everything's easy. Have some fun. I love the way these guys are. They're 9-2 now. They were 10-1 last year. Bo, how different does it feel? Mm-hmm. It feels totally different.
It feels totally different because
of Barkley, and they're having fun.
Right, and I was going to say it feels totally different because they showed some vulnerability early in the year and then built from it because they could have crashed early and said, uh-oh, the same thing of last year is happening again, and that didn't happen. They just kind of – and you could say, well, they didn't play anybody. Guess what? They lost last year to Arizona. They lost a game to the Giants last year. I mean, they lost some bad games down the stretch to some teams. The game in Seattle that they lost. So they were losing to bad teams last year, late in the year. So I think the feel is different because they did have some adversity and moved past it. They had the game with the Jacksonville with Sirianni getting questioned for all of his decisions. By the way, the Nerds won last night. The Ravens went for it on fourth down. On their own 16-yard line, and they went for it all night long. The Ravens said, the heck with taking the points. We're going to take the points we really want, the 6, not the 3.
That could come back to bite them against the Eagles, I think. That game was huge for the Ravens because of the Harbaugh Bowl. Maybe you get a little letdown. Why not?
Not a bad theory. All right, Sports Bash Live, that's today's Big 3. All right, we'll close out the show with the Bet365 play of the day. And get ready to get on out of here from Chickies and Pete's in Egg Harbor Township tonight. Stick around. The Bet365 play of the day is next.
It's Sixers basketball tomorrow night on 97.3 ESPN with the voice of the Sixers, Tom McGinnis, calling all the exciting play-by-play action.
Three ball got Jared McCain injecting life back into the Sixers with a made three.
It's Sixers Rocket tomorrow night. Coverage begins at 8 p.m. It's Sixers basketball all season long on South Jersey's radio home for Philadelphia 76ers basketball. 97.3 ESPN.
Hi, it's Pete from Chickie and Pete's. Wrap up your workday with the all-new Chickies and Pete's Happy Hour with unbeatable specials weekdays from 4 to 6 p.m. Enjoy half-price orders of Chickies Meaty and Tender Wings, one of our tasty and delicious pizzas, or an order of mouth-watering hot, cold, or fried shrimp. Plus $3 domestic bottled beers, $5 Tito's, and $6 seltzers. It's the all-new Happy Hour, weekdays 4 to 6 p.m., only at Chickies and Pete's. Hi, it's Pete from Chickie and Pete's. Now, for a limited time, it's buy one, get one free snow crab legs every Tuesday and Wednesday. Buy one, get one free, and enjoy the sweet, delicate flavor of snowy white crab meat. Pair it with one of our handcrafted cocktails like the Stoli Vanilla Creamsicle or the Bourbon Peach Sweet Tea. Top it off with Chickie and Pete's world famous crab fries. Buy one, get one free snow crab legs every Tuesday and Wednesday for a limited time. Restrictions apply only at Chickies and Pete's.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? So you've got an oil change coming up. You can go farther and save on full synthetic with our oil change special. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Valvoline Advanced Full Synthetic with an STP Extended Life Oil Filter for just $33.99. Get the parts you need when you need them at AutoZone or AutoZone.com. Restrictions apply.
Hi, I'm Dan Tracy. I'm a workers' compensation attorney. At Goldenberg Mackler, we've handled thousands of workers' compensation claims over the years. Our experienced attorneys understand the law and will fight to get you the benefits that you deserve. When injured at work, make the right call to Goldenberg Mackler. Call us at 609-344-7131. That's 609-344-7131. Or visit us online at gmslaw.com.
Target Black Friday deals are here. And with up to 50% off gifts, you can make so many wishes come true. There's up to 50% off tech, video games, toys, and board games for gifts filled with wonder. Plus up to 50% off small appliances, floor care, holiday trees, and so much more. You'll even save on all the essentials to get your house ready for the magic of the season. And there's free shipping when you spend $35. Save more on gifts with Black Friday deals. Happier holidays from Target. Restrictions apply.
Craving a tasty breakfast or lunch? Come on down to Hot Bagels and more. They've got fresh baked bagels, irresistible spreads, and a mouth-watering selection of sandwiches, perfect for any appetite. Join them in Northfield, Atlantic City, Summers Point, and 2 locations in Margate for flavors that keep you coming back. Don't miss their homemade tuna and chicken salad, along with hearty soups. Order ahead or take advantage of their catering options for your next event. Hot Bagels and More, where every bite is a delight. Visit hotbagelsandmore.com or stop in today.
The holidays are picking up at the Home Depot, and so are the savings. Don't miss store-wide doorbuster deals starting Friday at 6 a.m. in-store only. Get top-of-your-list quality gifts at our lowest prices of the year, like a Ryobi 1+2 toolkit, only $79.88. Or go all out with festive decor, like the 2.5-foot LED elf Minion Stewart, a team player in any holiday display, for only $39.98. Don't miss doorbuster deals coming soon to the Home Depot. Starts November 29th while supplies last.
Something is happening here. Off the New Jersey coast, a new offshore wind project is generating nearly $2 billion in economic benefits for the state. We're generating thousands of local jobs, but the most important thing we're generating is trust. Look closer at Atlantic Shore's offshore wind, and you'll see that we're generating a clean energy future with a team that values safety, the environment, science, and a commitment to being a good neighbor. Learn more at AtlanticShoresWind.com.
You're listening to The Sports Bash with Mike Gill on 97.3 ESPN and the free mobile app.
All right, time for the Bet365 play of the day. We'll get you out of here with hopefully another winner tonight. But first, Josh, how'd we do last night?
Mike, last night you went 1-2. The Knicks didn't just cover, they crushed it last night.
Yeah, they smoked Denver.
But the Pacers game did not hit the over, and the Ravens-Chargers did not stay under.
No, it
I know
did
that
not.
firsthand.
Yeah. All right, here's what I got for you tonight. Just a couple of action games for you here. Going to go Buffalo, minus 23.5. Kent State is 0-16 since 2020 against teams 500 or better against the spread.
They're 0-11 currently. They haven't won a game all year.
Well, they're 0-11 as a team. They're 0-16 against the spread in this situation. And I'm going to go Toledo and Akron for the under. Toledo 9-0 to the under since 2021 when they are away from home. So Toledo, Akron, let's go under the play tonight. And those are my Bet365 plays of the day.
This is the last week for the Maction, the midweek Maction.
This is it.
That's it.
This is it for us here at Chickies and Pete's EHT. We'll be back here one more time in December, so stop on out. That time next week, we'll be back on our normal schedule Thursday from Chickies and Pete's in Egg Harbor Town, in Atlantic City at the Tropicana. Tomorrow, we'll be live at Mud Hen Brewing Company, Rio Grande Avenue in Wildwood. Stop out and see the show live on location. Tomorrow is our annual 99 Growlers party, and we invite everybody out there to come out and see the show tomorrow. And, of course, we'll be giving away a pair of tickets to see the Eagles Steelers club box seats, a Brandon Graham autographed football, Sixers tickets, Flyers tickets. We'll see everybody tomorrow.